This is Snake. Can you hear me? Good. The mission is simple. Put your geek pants on and infiltrate Foxhound. If you need backup, contact Ken and Chris on their codec frequency. Ready? Snake out.
You're not even Swedish?
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me with this bullshit? Hey, Geek Betters!
What's up?
How y'all doing?
Oh,
This is a good one. This is a good one.
yeah, it's a pretty good one.
We got a couple of Superman movies.
3 to be exact.
Yeah.
It's a super episode.
Yeah, 1, 2, and Superman Returns, because technically that is the only continuity.
Yes.
Even though 3rd and 4th are also part of that.
Yeah, and
but
the 3rd
Singer
is like...
just decided to say, no,
No.
this one cuts those 2 out.
I didn't like those 2, so even
Yeah.
though the 2nd has Superman 3 coming soon right at the end, like right away. So clearly,
yeah,
there was a continuation there.
right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But so that's exciting. We are going to talk about that. So obviously I'm wearing my Superman shirt, and
I'm wearing comic book man because Superman is a comic book.
you have your Superman colors.
I got my colors.
You do have your
I got
colors.
my colors.
You have the 3 primary, so you're good to go.
Yeah.
The intention was we were both going to be wearing Superman shirts, but this guy's charitable.
It's cool if you zip that up. You're Clark Kent.
Yeah, exactly.
He's doing double.
But yeah, so this is actually one of those ones where, near and dear to our hearts, that kind of thing. But watching it now in adult eyes is definitely
different.
Definitely different. But first, I have to say this.
Yes.
I have to say this. Daredevil, Born Again.
Double D.
Okay.
Yep.
We're looking at March 2025
Mm-hmm.
for the first part of this season.
Yes.
The first 9 episodes. I didn't notice that. That's awesome.
You didn't notice that?
That is.
Did you see my unboxing video?
I actually, because you know what it was? I saw the unboxing for this one.
Yes.
And then this one, and I was like, I saw the alerts. I didn't watch either of them yet.
Yeah.
But I will.
I got that at the clearance stand at Toys R Us.
God damn.
Yeah. Push his hand.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't pretty.
That isn't pretty. Nothing.
What I do isn't very pretty. But it might be very nice. It's been a while since it's been a while since that's awesome. Good job.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
When you say half price, how much was it originally? So I could do the mental math.
It was on clearance for $29.
Oof, that's not
so
bad.
Probably $50.
On clearance for $29?
Yep.
Yeah, so but
and it was the last one left, so I was like
$60 for that. Even $60 for that's not bad.
Never see a Wolverine plushie.
That's what I mean. Like it.
Yeah.
Like I would almost buy it simply because, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, speaking of Wolverine, what do you think of his new costume for the new book?
Are we talking about the end of the current run where he's wearing that adamantium suit?
No. I mean, sure. Actually, what's your thoughts on that?
I feel like it'd be pretty heavy to walk around with.
Or nigh impossible?
Yeah.
Also, what?
Right? I don't know.
I haven't read the book, so I don't understand the context of why he needs the suit to
Apparently,
fight
he doesn't have his healing power again. So to fight Sabretooth.
How did he lose his healing power?
I haven't read it yet, but
he
has to wear an adamantium suit to fight Sabretooth.
Does he still have the flaming?
No, those are gone.
Okay.
The flame claws are long gone.
How did he lose his fucking healing factor?
I don't know.
And also, if he lost his healing factor, then wouldn't the adamantium be slowly poisoning him?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the in-story reason as to, like, one of the reasons why other people that have used adamantium died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do they even touch? I mean, are you reading the book?
I am, but I haven't read that arc yet.
Okay, so you haven't got there yet.
No.
Okay.
Sabretooth War.
Okay. Yes,
It's supposed to be super violent. I'm looking forward to reading it.
Well,
but
no, I'm talking about the new one.
The new book?
The new book, the new costume.
The Saladin, what's his name? Saladin Amir or something like that?
Yeah. Let's see if I can.
I didn't notice that he was wearing a new suit in the images I saw.
Slightly different.
Is it? Well, in that case.
Saladin, I think it is.
Saladin. I'm not crazy excited about that series.
No, me neither.
The premise sounds cool, like he's in the Canadian wilderness, but it also sounds like a premise that I've seen before numerous times. That doesn't look that different, is it?
No. Boots are different.
Oh, he's got the blue on the legs.
Yeah, so the blue on the legs, I didn't like.
No, I don't like that.
Like, even the slashes on his thigh, I don't like that.
Nope.
I mean, the new boots, like, he doesn't have the traditional boots like those.
Yeah.
They're more like, it's like a knee pad.
Like a knee pad type
and then,
deal. Like
but he's got,
Cyclops
you can see he's got some sort of, like,
yeah,
scallops on the side there. It's one of those where I'm like, at first glance, I was like, oh, cool. And then the more I looked at it, I was like, it's too busy.
It is too busy.
Like, for a character like Wolverine, do you picture him sitting there being like, actually, as another thing, because I'm smoking again.
Yes.
Because Hugh Jackman was smoking. I need, like, stripes here, slash marks almost, that almost look like tiger stripes. And can we mimic them on my legs so there's a bit of uniformity here?
Yeah.
The guy wore brown and tan for...
It looks like too much.
Forever.
Brown and tan. Oh, man, just bring the brown and tan back.
Even the updated brown and tan costume I actually thought was really cool.
The X-Force one was awesome, too. The black and
gray the X-Force one was fucking so
that was
good.
Awesome looking.
It was sick.
And you can see Wolverine wearing something like that.
Exactly.
Like, you know what my bright yellow and blue suit could use? More blue.
Yeah. And like I said, the uniformity is key.
That art is nice, though. I'm not familiar with that guy's art at all, but that cover does look pretty nice.
That cover is nice.
Yeah, it's a nice cover.
It's a very, very nice cover.
I'm going to, of course I'm going to give it a chance. I'm a completionist. I got a stupid amount of Wolverine comics.
What is it, Sandoval, I think it is?
Oh, yeah.
He's good. He was on, if I remember
correctly. He's one of the Young Guns. Because they still do that. They still do the Young Guns. Hello, one viewer. How are you this evening?
I think he was on the Superman run.
Was he? I thought he was a Marvel Blind.
Blind?
Blind. A little German there.
Might have been. Hello, one viewer. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Anyway, so
Daredevil.
Overall, Superman or the Wolverine costume.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, well, it's a bit much.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm gonna check out the book anyway, even though I'm not that thrilled. But
I'm just happy that Krakoa.
Yeah, Krakoa.
It's over.
It's
over.
It was. Yeah, but like that's the other thing too. Like, look at editorial. Editorial strikes again.
Yeah.
Hickman had it, and then they were all over it, and he said, "Okay, fine, fuck it.
Yep, fuck it.
I'll finish up this one, and then you guys do whatever the fuck you want. I'm out."
Mm-hmm.
And he left.
And now Kevin Feige gets to call the shots.
Yeah.
On the X-Men.
Yeah. So.
I hate that so much that the movies.
Oh my god.
Are affecting the comic. It's supposed to be the other way around.
And think about Daredevil now. Remember, I was saying there's no way that this run is not being editorialized. And like I said, the first, like the guy said, he said, well, I wouldn't have had him in his Daredevil suit until I think it was issue 3 or 4.
Yeah.
That's almost 4 months without him even being, but he would have been fighting crime with the Habit style from Netflix.
Which would have been great.
And the fucking Priest Habit.
So that would have been awesome.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I would have been like, holy shit.
It's something
and
different.
And the visuals would have just looked incredible.
Mm-hmm. But nope.
Look
at Miss Marvel as a mutant now.
That one,
Nick Fury Jr. exists.
I don't mind her being a mutant now.
You know we're never going to see a male Silver Surfer again, right? In the comics.
I'm saying wait and see for that one. I'm saying wait and see for that one. Because we are still dealing with multiverse shit right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But also,
so why does Feige have a say in anything? It's a different universe, you dumb fuck.
Look, like I said,
I'm good.
I agree with the Silver Surfer. I agree that, like I said, like I think when we talked about it before, like all of a sudden they were like, yeah, we're coming out with a Superman, but instead of Clark Kent or Superman, it's Superwoman, and it's Carol Kent, and all the gender swaps happen. So instead of Lois Lane, it's Larry Lane or whatever. I'd be like, no fucking way. I don't want to fucking. Or even the Black Superman. Do Black Superman. Don't do Black Clark Kent.
Yeah. There's many Supermen out there.
Yeah.
Just like there's many Silver Surfers. And you could have started with the original.
I still think...
I'm pretty sure John Malkovich is playing the Puppet Master.
Oh.
Because they said he's in an unnamed role. And then they just cast Natasha Lyonne today in an unnamed role. And I think she's going to be...
Alicia Masters.
Yeah.
Ooh. I wouldn't cast her as Alicia Masters. But... it does sort of, it lines up.
It lines up.
It lines up nicely.
Yeah.
Huh. I still think that we're going to see, they might do the switch. They actually, yeah, you're right. I think we're not going to see a male Silver Surfer. Well, to be fair, we've already seen it. And it looked cool.
It looked amazing.
So we could see something new.
Doug Jones was so good in that role.
We could see something new.
We could.
But I agree.
I mean, she's basically naked.
Look, she's a phenomenal actress. Like, she's real fucking good. So she will do a real good job. Hopefully, the material she gets is good, because she will do really good with it.
I hope.
But I agree, though. It shouldn't. Also, how many fucking people are in this movie too? Like, is this Superman, the Authority, and all that shit? By the way, I've got some stuff we want to talk about that.
Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, this is a super episode.
This is a super episode. Okay, all right. So ultimately, Daredevil.
Yes. Daredevil March
2025.
Yes.
And I guarantee you, we're gonna see the trailer soon.
Oh yeah.
I said San Diego Comic-Con.
Yep.
But it's gonna be leaked very soon.
Oh, it'll be leaked
because they've already shown it. Like, they had this Disney thing, and they showed a bunch of trailers, and that was one of them. I've already read like rundowns of the trailer.
They should actually start showing the trailers ahead of the movies at the theater.
Yeah,
put that in front of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, but also show me now.
Yeah, also
no, more or less. Like that 1 second teaser.
Oh yeah,
where he's smiling with the blood. I was like,
I know you're like the new teaser. Did you see it? There's a shot of him. I watched it. It was so quick. I was like,
I did the same thing.
Is that it? I rewound it into the.
I'm like the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, that's it.
That's it. But I'm like, I don't care because that's a good shot. Like,
yeah,
it does make me a lot more positive, because I've been saying for a while now. Like, obviously, it's still going to be different, right? And I'm on my like rewatch of Daredevil, so I'm on season 3 right now. And like I said, no depression, but just I watch it when I work out. Right? Yeah. I've been running every day, or doing something every day. You. So you have no excuse. All jokes aside, but like, so I
see this, Matt Murdock. You can't do this. You're blind, motherfucker.
I've been putting in the work, right, and I've been putting in the hours, right, watching the shows, and I'm more concerned now that we're gonna get less character stuff than I am about the violent. Because I do think the fight scenes there has to be a level of violence in the fight scenes. Yeah, there has to be, but there also has to be a level of polish to the fight scenes. Okay, like this She-Hulk one was a good fight scene.
Yep,
but it was still a little cartoony, right? Whereas this needs to be gritty, hard hitting. Okay, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, I'm on the episode right now where we're learning about Karen's backstory. What happened to her brother? Her life before New York. I don't know that we're gonna get episodes like that. you know, or the episode devoted almost entirely to Wilson Fisk's backstory.
How many episodes is Born Again now? They reduced it, right?
Technically, they've reduced it in the sense that they're releasing 9 episodes.
Yeah.
But they're also like they're saying the season is still 18, but it's like part 1, right? So part 1 is 9 episodes.
So when's part 2 coming? Am I gonna have to wait 2 years for it?
Well, so my understanding is that so they've wrapped filming for this.
Yeah.
But my gut tells me that they're going to almost immediately go into filming. Like once it's done and polished and all that other fun shit, then they're going to go back into season 2 or part 2.
Part 2.
That's what I'm thinking. They're
going to give me a bastard cliffhanger. I know they are.
Oh, of course they are. Of course they are.
Can't wait for that.
But I mean, like, how long were they in between the Netflix shows?
Oh, quite a while. Definitely quite a while.
I could have
Season 1 and 2 were closer together than 2 and 3. Because 2 and 3 had Defenders in between. And a bunch of...
Yeah, because I could have swore it was a shorter wait between the first
2. I think between the first 2, we only had Jessica Jones.
2015, 2016, that's right. And then 2018.
And then 2018, right.
So that's, I mean, if we wait a year, okay. If we wait 2, okay. If we wait 3, fuck that.
Yeah.
Because they're not getting any younger.
I'm angry.
Like, that's the thing. They're not getting any younger. But
no.
Like, they have, just recently, and this is the other part too, is not only do I think we're going to get a leak soon, I really, really hope they just show us the trailer. Like, just get it over with. But I agree, show them in these movies. Show them in the movies. But in an interview, I don't know if it's Comic-Con or something. It's one of those type. I think it might even be this Disney thing that I was talking about. Charlie Cox had said like he wants to do this for the next 10 years.
Good.
Yeah. And he and Vince D'Onofrio is remind me, I gotta tell you the stupidest but funniest thing for me from BoJack Horseman about Vince D'Onofrio.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, so Vince and Charlie, because I'm on a first name basis with them.
You're close. You're tight.
They're like very hands-on with the show now. So they're like almost gatekeepers at this point. So that makes me a little bit more positive about those character arc episodes.
Yeah.
It's just the drawback is that it's still Marvel and it's still Disney and it's still just like, I mean, we didn't get really too much character shit at all. It was just like, this is who I am, and now watch the show.
Yeah.
Right? Like She-Hulk and Miss Marvel. Those are the and even Moon Knight, because those are the 3 that weren't in anything else. Right?
Right.
And it was just like right in the beginning, it was like, I'm a lawyer, I'm single, I'm kind of quirky. Oh, and also my cousin is Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
So all the stuff that happened with Bruce Banner, similar. And then they speed through, like they speed run through the origin.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you're like, oh, okay, now you're fighting crime. Okay, all right. And sometimes you're a lawyer, but as She-Hulk, and sometimes you're not. But okay, cool. Like luckily they played it for laughs.
Yeah, yeah.
If they were going for a serious show, I'd have been like, fuck off,
no,
guy.
She-Hulk was done right.
Yeah, I agree.
I really enjoyed it.
It was one of the best.
Just it reminded me totally of Dan Slott's run.
Just the character in general, because the character's always on a fourth wall breaking.
Yeah.
Since John Byrne. I think John Byrne was the one that had her break the fourth wall. And just like overall, it was a fun show that like I said, I have to rewatch now because I spent every episode going, Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil. No, Daredevil.
And then we got his hat or his helmet.
I saw his helmet. What the fuck?
You're supposed to be in this episode.
You know, and then they're like, here's his costume. It's mustard and red. What? Almost my exact.
Why did he dress like a hot dog? God.
Why are we calling him Condiment Man? This is fucking bullshit. Oh, right. Copyright. Because Batman has condiment.
Yeah.
Anyway. So.
By the way, hilarious that McFarlane made a figure of him.
That is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh, speaking of McFarlane, he only had a 4-issue run on Batman, but have you checked it out? Like, it's old.
Oh, his old Batman. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, look at me.
Dude's cape, though.
Toys and stuff.
Dude's cape is unreal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Spawn is his Spider-Man and his Batman cape.
That's exactly
That's what Spawn is.
That's exactly it. And luckily, like, he's able to make that cape however large he wants. So if he wants to fill 14 panels with that fucking cape. But fuck, I was laughing. The art's incredible. Like, the art's incredible. I've never been the hugest Todd McFarlane fan. Like, I will admit that he is a good artist, but it's just never really resonated with me. But that Batman art, I was like, holy shit. But the whole time I was like, dude, it's like all fucking cape.
Yeah.
It's all fucking
cape. Cape. Even his statue that he released.
Yeah. Okay. Huge. So I will say the reviews I've been hearing about X-Men 98
97
or 97, sorry. Yeah. They actually add to the positivity.
It's fantastic. Man.
I'm like thinking more and more that it'll be close.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be exactly the same. It will be close, but I think largely it'll be good.
It's pretty spot on to the original.
I haven't watched it. Yeah. Well, actually,
I know you haven't watched it yet, but holy crap, it's good.
I can't wait.
Holy crap!
Okay, all right. So that's it for my Daredevil stuff.
Okay.
Oh, the Vince D'Onofrio thing. Right?
Yeah.
So, you're familiar with BoJack Horseman, right?
I am. Yeah.
So, for those of you that aren't, BoJack Horseman is a horse, and there's animals in this world, and he plays essentially Danny Tanner from Full House. Okay. The premise is he was an actor who played BoJack Horseman, and he raised 3 orphans, and that's it, right? And now it's his life outside of being that. Like, that's all he's really ever done.
Yeah.
And now it's his life, right? Okay. So one of his friends, I don't want to say best friend, although Mr. Peanut Butter would suggest he is BoJack's best friend. Mr. Peanut Butter is a dog, and he was in like a knockoff show.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Originally, Vince D'Onofrio was the lead for this show.
I think I vaguely remember that.
And the cool part is not only does he voice the role, but he says this line. He goes, "This D'Onofrio has had enough, Rio," and then he storms off because he's not clicking. He's not funny. Like, no one's laughing at him. He's not clicking with the actors. And this Mr. Peanut Butter comes in and just like steals the show, right? But now I'm so fucked up because now when I hear enough, I will more than often than not will go, "Oh, this D'Onofrio has had enough, Rio."
They should do a blooper behind the scenes on Daredevil.
I just think it's so fucking funny that he voiced that role, right?
Mm-hmm.
And still said that line. Like, oh fuck! If he comes out and like someone says, "Oh no," he wrote that line. Like, he improv that line. I'd be like, "Oh God, this guy can't get any.
He's awesome.
He can't get any cooler.
He's awesome."
I remember the first time I ever seen him act. And it was in a Law and Order show, and he played like a mentally retarded guy.
Yep.
Mentally handicapped guy. I'm not sure the term now. Retarded.
I think it's mentally disabled.
Mentally disabled. Okay?
I think that's where.
So he played a mentally disabled guy, and he was so good. And I was just like, did they hire like a mentally disabled guy? Yeah. I think at the time I said.
Well, look at him in Men in Black. You couldn't even tell that was him in that show.
Well,
in that movie, The Cell.
And that's what happened. So I watched The Cell, and I went,
"Why haven't we done The Cell yet?"
Oh yeah, we're gonna do.
Oh, I love The Cell. I love.
You know what I think we should do? We should do The Cell and Atlas, because it's 2 Jennifer Lopez sci-fi movies.
Atlas?
I think it's called Atlas. She's got a Netflix movie coming out.
Atlas. Really? It's the first I've heard of it.
Well, it's straight to Netflix, so it's not like it's supposed to be good.
That's the straight to Netflix.
Yeah, Atlas.
Huh.
A brilliant data analyst with a deep distrust of AI finds it may be her only hope when a mission to capture a renegade robot goes awry.
Mm-hmm.
It's a buddy cop.
Oh, Brad Pitt. Okay. It's the guy that directed San Andreas and Rampage. And I'm surprised The Rock isn't in this.
He probably voices the robot.
Yeah,
or
probably.
The AI. He probably
He's
voices
the AI. He's AI.
But yeah, so it's a shitty fucking. I mean, it doesn't even look that good, to be honest.
It might be all right.
But it might be all right.
Her last movie was pretty good.
It might be all right.
The Mother, I think it was called.
Yeah, I didn't even. No, Michelle and I didn't even want to watch that. We watched the trailer and we both were like, no. I've seen movies. I've seen too many movies like that.
Well, there's so many movies like that.
She's not that good of an actress. I know she thinks she's amazing. She's not.
No.
She plays Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. And
that's it.
She's got a nice booty.
She's got nice everything. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, we can't deny that.
No, she and for her age and again, access to all that, but she looks fucking amazing. Oh, she's also putting in the work. Like, to be fair.
Yeah.
She's putting in the work too. It's not just all the stuff that money can buy. She's also putting in the work because you have to.
You got it.
Because
if you got to put some work in.
Yeah, you have to do something. Anyway, so overall,
or else you look like this.
You would look worse. Overall, Daredevil, I'm way more hopeful than I was.
You were pretty hopeful already, though.
But I'm even more hopeful now. Okay. All right. So
we're gonna.
Reason why we're doing this is because James Gunn has unleashed the first promo pic of Superman, and boy, oh boy, do people have opinions.
Boy, oh boy. There he is, right there, putting on his boots nice and slow.
To be fair, the argument that I heard about him, like this is a snapshot with him in the process of like super speed.
Super speed. And my argument to that was his cape would be in the air. It wouldn't be still on the ground.
But hold on.
Yeah.
So this is what I wrote down.
Okay.
I feel like I'm writing an article. Superman promo pic is the lackluster cherry on an already unsettled feeling of this movie for me.
Oh.
I'm not like I don't. My first thought when I saw that picture, wasn't oh yeah or oh fuck. It wasn't that.
Yeah.
It was oh okay.
My first thought was, oh, this is an AI image.
And then my other thought was, this can't be AI. Like, they wouldn't do AI. And then immediately everyone was like, it's not AI. It's not AI. Yeah. It's a picture. It's not AI. And I'm like,
it's real.
I still think it's AI.
It's real. Okay.
You said it's not AI, but I still think it's AI. Anyway, so the costume's dirty, so it suggests he was in battle, and that's what they're trying to say.
And he took a break to get a rock out of his shoe.
Yeah. Exactly. like if you're already in battle and this is like you just finished a battle and then this is you going back into battle. Well, what's going on here? Now, to be fair, with Man of Steel, with their promo pic with the Vault, my first thought was, oh, that looks pretty cool. But
make this bigger.
I was concerned about the no trunks.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Because now, my first thing after I got over that feeling, the initial shock of seeing it was, oh, he's got trunks.
He's got trunks.
And okay, fine, he's got trunks, fine. I would prefer he doesn't. But the part that I'm not liking the most is the New 52 collared look.
The collar? The Kingdom Come Superman logo?
I don't mind the S as much.
Here's the thing. They took my least favorite costume in all of Superman's, the New 52. It's a god-awful costume. I love Jim Lee, but that is a horrible costume.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
So they took the worst costume.
Yep.
And the only thing I liked about it was the fact that it didn't have trunks.
Exactly.
And they put the trunks on it.
They put the trunks back on.
So this is essentially a live-action version of my worst-case scenario.
But in comparison to Man of Steel, Superman. So yes, sure, I was a little bit like, oh, there's no trunks. But I was still just like, but this looks fucking cool. Like, this looks fucking cool.
It looks cool. Like, look at this. Like, look at the texturing in that. Like, everything about it was cool.
I mean, and
I'm so tired. Why does he have knee pads? Tell me why Superman has knee pads.
Or shoulder pads.
Look,
I will say, see it in motion, yada, yada, yada. Give it time. Let's be hopeful. But this does not sell me on this movie.
Nope.
I was sold on Man of Steel 2008.
Was sold on
Superman Returns.
Yeah.
With that promo pic.
Oh,
even
100%.
though now I look back and I go, like, even to this day, I acknowledge they fucked the colors up.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been a blood red, like dark brown cape and boots.
Yeah.
You know, it shouldn't have been twink trunks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it shouldn't have been. And then, like, to have super bright blue on top of that, it was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, that, in retrospect, is still a complaint of mine. But it's still, I was like, holy fuck.
But what I liked about it is the simplicity of it.
And also,
you can imagine that suit under a regular man's clothes while he's at work.
Exactly.
There's no way that bulky ass thing is fitting under a suit.
Okay, so you know how the New 52 got around that?
How?
Get ready to roll your fucking eyes.
Oh, man.
So, when he wasn't wearing the suit and he was Clark Kent, it morphed into a t-shirt that had the symbol on it. So, that's right.
For those that can't see my face right now because of this image, it's not impressed.
Yeah. So they're probably going to go that route where it becomes...
Oh my God, that's going to become a
t-shirt? It's like the Flash ring where it just goes into the ring.
Don't do it. Oh, don't do that.
I guarantee you. I guarantee you.
But you're probably right, because look at those giant boots too. Like,
it'll be a t-shirt, and it'll morph onto him when he's ready to be Superman. But you'll still be able to get the classic reveal.
That's a huge cape too. It's draped on the ground there while he's sitting. So
I know, like, I mean, fuck, man. Like, and even like the fucking boots too. Like,
it's just like, it looks like he's wearing armor.
Yeah.
You're the Man of Steel.
And that was my biggest issue with the New 52 one. It was like, it's a fucking armor.
Yeah.
Why would he be wearing armor? Now, don't get me wrong. I've always kind of like chuckled at the fact that like most continuities have it where Superman's mom, Martha Kent, makes the suit by hand.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, but it's Kryptonian.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, you know, like bullets don't go through it, but needle and thread does?
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, sure, there's been issues where they have him helping her with his heat vision, and he's helping her with this, helping her make it, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but it's still just one of those, like, so when Man of Steel had it where it was just, that's what they wore. And, you know, it was just recolored to make him look approachable, right? Instead of like gray on gray on gray, it was red and blue and yellow. And you're like, yeah, okay. Fucking right. Yes. But so you have this on top of already finding out that the Authority is going to be in this.
Yep.
It seems like most of the Justice League is going to be in it, but it's not even like okay, Hawk Girl. I would like to see Hawk Girl live action.
Yep.
Metamorpho, Mr. Terrific. Okay, sure, fine, but no. Ultimately, no.
James Gunn, he loves his obscure characters. It doesn't mean you should shove them all in the first Superman movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, start small and build off it.
Like, I want to be so pumped for this fucking movie, and I'm like hesitant. The only way that I think that this gets saved is, of course, we have to see the movie, right?
Yep.
So, Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, they may be just people we see peripherally. So we might see them for 30 seconds a piece, or maybe a minute a piece.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3 minutes of, which is probably a 3-hour movie. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
I actually think the only way that they're going to save this is if they use the Authority as a stand-in for the Elite, because I think he is actually going to pull from Superman versus the Elite, or the comic book, the actual comic book. What's so funny about Truth, Justice, and the American Way? Like Action Comics 775. I'm pretty sure that's it. I think that's what it's going to be. So it's going to be basically those guys. The Authority are killers.
Yep.
They will kill to help people, just like the Elite.
Yep.
So I think they're going to do that, and that's how they're going to show the dichotomy. Superman doesn't kill, and this is why. And then it'll have a scene where he kills them, but really he doesn't. It's all smoke and mirrors, just so that everyone goes, oh, fuck, well, Okay, Superman, you got us. I think that's what they're gonna do, and I think ultimately, if they do it right, which I mean, to be fair, in James Gunn's hands, he could pull this off. He could, and I think that'll save it. I also don't think that this is the final version of the costume.
Yeah.
I actually think there's going to be. Actually, that might be the final version, but the second one, I think he's going to get a different suit. It'll be updated. I don't think he's going to be wearing this suit the entire time.
They're doing the Amazing Spider-Man thing now.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Well, even with the Man of Steel and then Batman v Superman,
Mm-hmm.
the suit was lightened, or it might have been just the color filter.
But
I mean,
contrast.
The blue was brighter, the red was brighter.
Yep.
The yellow was a bit more muted. It looked better in the second one, and also the midsection was different. They changed the belt, so instead of the circles, it was just squares, which I could care less either way. I thought both of them looked fine, but everything else, like the colors, were the main thing. Yeah. But I thought he definitely looked more like Superman in Batman v Superman than he did in Man of Steel. But regardless, so yeah, I don't know. I want to be super fucking pumped about this, and it's disappointing that I'm not.
Like, the only good thing out of this, like you said, is while we're talking about it, everybody's talking about it. Everyone's making memes. Like, it's not going away. It's in everyone's minds.
Oh, the most recent meme I saw was actually really, really funny. So it's the same thing. He's sitting there.
Yeah.
And then it's Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman lying on the bed saying, "It happens to everybody." It's like, that is fucking funny. That is so fucking funny.
That's good. Yeah.
That's real good.
Some of them have been really good.
Some of them have been real good. And that's what I mean, like the engagement. And that's another thing too, is I still think it's AI, even though everyone says it isn't. I still think it's AI. I think we might actually see tweaked costume based on the reaction.
It could be just testing the waters, seeing what people say.
You know what I mean? Like, I've been saying this since since the Ninja Turtle movies, since that movie came out, because they leaked the designs. Every turtle fan was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?
Yep,
they're aliens from another dimension."
Yep.
So aliens from another dimension.
Shredder's a white guy,
and then on top of that, they look grotesque and aggressive, and all of a sudden they didn't look so aggressive anymore.
Nope.
And all of a sudden they were mutants again.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they reshot crucial scenes to make it look as if he wasn't actually Shredder and it was an Asian guy.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, for fuck's sakes, you don't even have to have Shredder speak.
No.
You could just have him say like 3 things. And also, if he's going to speak, he can say everything in Japanese.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to say a single word in English.
Nope. Have him speak Japanese. You don't even have to put the subtitles in there to let what he's saying.
Exactly.
Might be creepier that way.
Yeah, well, I mean... yeah, exactly. Oh, well, what's his face? Tattoo? Yep. Tattoo spoke Japanese.
Yeah.
And Tattoo was a fucking badass.
Oh, he was awesome.
Oh, just that...
And then the fight, Casey Jones.
Oh, man.
Oh, good times.
Can we redo Ninja Turtles? Because I want to talk about that. But anyway, so while I'm way more hopeful right now than I ever have been for Daredevil, I'm not as hopeful for this. And which is sad, because this is a character about hope.
Yeah.
This character is supposed to inspire hope.
I'm gonna watch it. I mean,
day one.
I don't like the costume.
Day one, I'm watching it.
I love James Gunn. I'm a little unsure if James Gunn can do Superman. He hasn't done anything like that before.
No.
So we'll see. We'll see.
You know what? It's just. Well, first of all, I don't necessarily want a 3-hour movie.
No.
Unless it doesn't feel like a 3-hour movie. But come on. Can't we just go back to 2.5 hours?
No more. In fact, I never realized how long Superman the movie felt.
Oh, yeah.
It's so long.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. In fact, all 3 of them are long.
All 3 of them. The second one's a little better, but...
The second one is better.
Returns is long.
Returns is long.
It's like over 2.5 hours.
It is. And I felt it this time.
You felt it.
I definitely felt it.
I was feeling it.
And I realize now, when I think about these movies, Now, don't get me wrong. I still love these movies.
Yeah.
I still love them. But like when I look back, I look and I think about the actual chunks of the movies that I like, the chunks of the movies that mean something, right? Yep. Whereas everything in between, I forget about because I don't care about it because it's not as engaging for me anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So then when I rewatch it, it's like, oh, right, there's this, and then there's this, and then there's this fucking thing right here, right? Second one is probably the best, but there's still quite a bit of parts. Although we'll talk about the ending because I thought it fucking killed me. Man of Steel came out and it is like everyone was shitting on it for that one ending, and I was like, yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
But you can't.
He took a Kryptonian supervillain.
How long? We gotta stop. No. We gotta save it for that one. We gotta save that. But yes, I know.
Broke his neck. Okay. All right. Okay.
What?
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah.
Okay.
So if you're gonna do two, that's another one I can't stop doing.
Okay. I'll do that. Okay.
I just can't. And then it's like okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. So if you're gonna do a 2.5 hour, 3 hour movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, like Man of Steel was 2.5 hours. It's never once felt like 2.5 hours to me. You know, Fallout, 2 hours and 43 minutes didn't feel like that to me. I felt it in Dead Reckoning. I have felt the length. I felt it when I first watched it. I felt it every single time I've watched it since.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's I still love the movie, but when you feel the time.
Then you know.
And the Batman, same thing. I felt that 3 hours.
Yeah.
I felt that. I haven't yet to rewatch it.
I've watched it 3 times now. I love it.
It's such a great movie.
But you do feel it.
But that's the thing, because you feel it, I feel like you mentally prepare for it.
Yeah.
And if you have to mentally prepare to watch a movie,
then you don't really revisit it too often.
That's right. Lord of the Rings, those are 3 hour movies, but I don't feel it.
Yeah.
And there's fucking scenes where they're walking. You watch them walking.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
There's nothing more boring than watching someone walk. And yet for some reason I'm like, oh yeah, this is fucking when Michelle does this cycle, it's like, yeah. Although Rings of Power, oof.
Yeah, man.
We didn't even finish the first season.
Really?
We stopped and we have not picked it back up.
Ooh.
Although I picked up Invincible season 2.
Yes.
I started watching those episodes.
Yeah.
I'm 1 episode in. It's good.
It's good. Sounds good as first season.
That's what you keep telling me. And I mean, I don't know. So far I'm liking it. It doesn't feel. It feels weird, but then again, it's supposed to because Mark's weird. He's in a weird spot right now.
He's in a weird spot for sure.
Right. I did not like how they said Invincible 16 times in the fucking first episode. I was like, okay, I get it. All right. The Langstrom stuff is starting to cook though.
I love Angstrom, but I don't know. You know what really bugs me, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. I will keep saying it forever. I hate fucking swearing in the show. I hate it.
I actually don't mind it.
I hate it.
Okay.
I really notice it when Mantzoukas is on the screen.
Well,
Rex Blob is dead by now. Can we kill him, please?
You can't because it's fucking Jason Mantzoukas. Last thing I'll say about this, because I just wrote it down. I think the characterization of Superman and Clark Kent is going to be a mixture of everything we've seen before. I really, really, really hope that Gunn puts his own stamp on Clark and has him doing the Grant Morrison accidentally saving people, like by like bumping into somebody and you know what I mean? Like, so like in All-Star, he bumps into this dude on the street and the dude's like, hey man, watch where the fuck you're going. And as he's ripping into Clark, like a piece of sign falls. And had he continued walking, if Clark didn't bump him, he would have died.
Yeah.
Right? Or like he trips and catches electric cord around himself, but it spares the electrocution of Lex Luthor in jail, like those kind of things. Yeah. I think that would be a really cool way to modernize the bumbling, because when I'm watching it here, like the Donner
the original ones,
the Donner ones, and even with Returns, because it is a Donner movie, like it's the same characterization. It's like, ooh, like I understand you don't want people to think you're Clark Kent, or Superman, sorry, but whoa.
But you seem like a giant moron.
Yeah, exactly.
So how'd you get this job?
Exactly. Like you already hunch.
Yeah.
You already put your voice up an octave.
Yeah.
Do you have to do all of this other shit? Like the closest they had was when he fainted and caught the bullet, which I thought was awesome. Yeah. I still think that's awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
And Lois had no fucking clue. She just thought, oh, he's a little bitch that fainted.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's cool. But like every other thing, it could have been more stuff like that, I guess. Anyway, so that's it for what I've got here.
I think he'll do a lot from All-Star.
That's what I think it's All-Star. I think
he's pulling
Superman for all seasons. And obviously New 52, but that might be an editorial thing.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure why.
Because why not? Superman's the movie.
Yep. So this one came out at a time where superhero movies just
did not exist.
Did not happen. So release date December 10th, 1978. Okay.
Yep.
This was on a budget of $55 million. Okay, now obviously
that's a lot back then.
Adjusted for inflation, right? Yeah. But yeah, that's a lot back then. This made $300.5 million. Yeah. So this was crazy. And it even says the most expensive film made up to that point. Like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do we do
and
this
yet
normally?
You can't really tell where the money went.
Do you want to do this normally, or do you want to just talk about it?
Oh, let's just talk about it.
Okay.
It's
all
old.
Right. So, yeah, I'm not even going to do the rest of the other ones. So, overall, like I said, I genuinely like this movie, but you have to go into this movie with a camp mindset. Because this is the campy version
very campy
of all these characters. All of them. Every single one of them. So, I mean, again, that's partly why Clark is the way he is. But the problem I have with that is that informed the depiction of Clark for so long, right up until the 80s. Like when John Byrne came in and Infinite Crisis on Infinity Earths hit.
Yeah.
And they revamped everything.
Yeah.
Got rid of all the other superheroes, so like our super people, like Supergirl was gone, Superboy gone, and basically had it that he was Superboy in high school, but he was also on the football team, and so like they were writing in reasons why this guy was this nerdy fucking loser was jacked, so they had him on the football team. They didn't have him win or start quarterback, or they'd have like weights in his office, things like that. Which you're like, okay, that's kind of that's smart. And they depowered him because he was overpowered back then. But the clumsy idiot Clark still stayed for so long. And they bring it back from time to time too. Like Jeff Johns, he was doing a similar version of that character because he's heavily influenced by the Donner movies.
Well, I mean, he worked with Donner when he was a teenager.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But also just being heavily influenced by those movies too. Like, I get it.
Actually, didn't Donner co-write the first arc with him?
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
Still a really good arc though.
Yeah. And gorgeous Kubert art. Adam Kubert.
Yeah, I know. So good.
His
and
short
then,
DCs.
And then he followed that with the Brainiac run, which with Gary Frank, and oh my god,
oh yeah,
such a
that's run.
My favorite version of Brainiac too.
Oh, he's horrifying looking.
He's
scary,
and he's fucking massive
and scary,
just massive,
and yet still not in a movie.
Oh, I know. The current stuff they're doing with Brainiac right now is also really cool, but like I said, it's leading into Absolute Power, which sounds really, really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Superman books are great right now. Absolutely great. Anyway, getting back to this movie. I love this movie, but there are things that it's a product of its time.
Like, this is kind of what I was telling you on our text there. We grew up in the 80s, the 90s.
Yeah.
So, like, we watched this when we were kids.
Yep.
I haven't rewatched this for a long time. So this could very well be the Superman of that time. There's 40 years of comics going into that movie.
Yep.
Right? I'm not used to that Superman now.
That's fair. That's fair.
Right?
So I rewatched this within the last, 10 years.
Yeah.
Within the last 15, I'd say.
15?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm a rewatcher, right?
Yeah.
But even I remember the last time I watched it.
I think the last time I rewatched it was before Returns.
Actually, yeah.
And that was 2006.
No, last time I rewatched it was before Man of Steel. I rewatched all of them.
Okay, I did it.
Rewatched all of them beforehand. And I remember, when I was watching it this time, I remember thinking the last time I watched it, I was like, huh. There are some stuff in this movie that is pretty rough to get through.
Yes.
Like that flying sequence with Lois Lane.
Ugh.
Actually, the entire interview sequence.
Do physics not exist in this world?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, when you're flying with Lois, you got to hold her.
Well, hold on.
You're not Peter Pan and that's not Wendy. She can't fly beside you. I literally caught this in the second movie.
Yeah.
He's doing the fly thing beside her. And then he goes like this and puts his arm around her.
Yep.
So she wasn't being held for a moment. And yet she kept flying right beside him.
So there is actual arguments for Superman and how he does this. And I'll say this as a guy who actually read the Physics of Superheroes.
You're the guy to talk to.
I read this whole book. Now, granted, everything in that book is prefaced with, if this is true, then this is how this works, right? So the main crux of it is that Superman and they wrote this in the comic. This is actually in the comic books. They talk about how he has a bioelectric field around him. Okay, that field extends to things that he touches, right? And the reason why they said this was because physicists who read comic books, because why wouldn't you, were saying things like, okay, when Superman is carrying a building, and we talked about this on our first Camcast, that you can't see on YouTube anymore because of YouTube's guidelines.
I'm going to try to...
I'm bitter, YouTube. I'm still happy with you, but I'm bitter.
I'm going to try to repost, edit the hell out of it.
Try to figure out a way around it.
Yeah.
But anyway, but like I talked about it, where like realistically, the building would crumble.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He couldn't hold a building like in one hand and still have it stay upright. It would actually start to break down on the higher he went, no matter where he flew. If he flew higher, it would just crumble faster. So they get around that by saying his bioelectric field extends to whatever he touches. So it maintains that structure, right?
Okay.
So that argument could be applied to the fact that when he's holding Lois's hands, she flies similarly to him.
Okay.
Also, that half a second that he was shifting, where she would have fallen, same thing. So that's how they would get around that physics argument. But there's a lot of shit in both those movies that doesn't happen in the comic books. Isn't explained by the comic books.
Donner and the writers were just making up powers as they went.
They just went, well, he's Superman.
Yeah.
So
why not?
Why wouldn't he be able to do these things?
Okay, so that was my major issue with the flying scene. What was your issue? Just the cheesiness of it all?
God damn, is it ever cringy?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I get it. She is totally enamored with Superman because everyone would be, not everyone, but for the most part, people would be enamored with this dude that's just helping people.
Yeah.
And also has all these super cool powers. A jive suit too, and then also just being generally a good person, right? Most people would gravitate towards that, so that part I don't mind. But the interview is just Like, where are you getting this information? She's like, oh, no, I understand you have X-ray vision. How the fuck would you know that?
Yeah.
How the fuck would you know that? This is the first time that you're actually having a conversation with the dude. How would you know that?
Yeah.
How would you know that he has freeze breath, or he can, okay, sure, he tells you he's really fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't tell you how fast, right? Stuff like that. So it's little things like that where they would say this stuff, and I'm like, okay. And even Michelle was just like, yeah, but how would she know? And even Lex Luthor,
oh man, Luthor,
he knew more about Krypton than Superman did, and Superman has a fucking bibliography of Krypton at his disposal. Also, there's no security forces in this Fortress of Solitude. There's not one, not even a little alert that goes off. This is, hey, Superman, you might want to check out your fortress there, because
they don't pick up air balloons.
Or he walked in the front fucking door, and not only did he do that, he did that in every movie we discussed. He just strolled in.
Yeah.
Well, granted, the second one, he just told them and they flew him in.
Yeah.
But in Superman Returns, which is supposed to happen after the second one, right? But it's not even the second one. It's actually the Donner version of the second movie.
Okay.
So it ends the way the Donner version ended, which is different. But anyway, even then, he strolls in and I'm like, you fucking left for 5 years? Like, in the comic books, he's got robots.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's also got an interdimensional, interplanetary habitat for aliens and animals just like him that have no one else. They don't have a planet. So he's got robots tending to them while he's not there. Like Kellex would have been perfect. But okay, budget, I get it. Yep. All right, fine. But no security?
None.
So much so that you just put the fucking chip in the crystal in the thing, and it's just like, hey, Kal-El, how's it going? Hey, I'll tell you everything.
I'm your pops. Listen up.
Yeah, and Luthor's just like, oh, no password. Cool. I don't even have to guess. This is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm your son. Tell me everything. You know? So it was things like that was chipping away at me the entire time. But the interview sequence is ridiculous. It's super cringy. But also when she's flying and she's like, do you have any idea what you do to me? Can you read minds? I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. You knew he could do a whole bunch of shit that he never said to anybody ever.
Now, that said, the two of them together are awesome.
Chemistry is incredible.
Chemistry is off the charts.
Exactly, off the charts. You're like, were they banging?
Are we going to see a porn right now?
And the funny part is that there was still chemistry when he was playing Clark Kent.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously more so in the second movie because she's starting to fall for Clark just on his own, which is what I prefer. I actually prefer that she gets over the enamour, it's lust thing.
Yeah.
But then falls in love with actually Clark himself, and then realizes they're the same. I prefer that more. It's kind of like Captain America: First Avenger, where Peggy is falling for Steve before Project Rebirth. That drive to Project Rebirth, she's like, I don't care what happens after this. If he doesn't get muscles or whatever, I'm fucking this dude, and I'm probably going to date him and see what happens. Yeah. Because he's just saying all the right things, right? So I think I like that aspect more. But I thought about this too, to contrast, and I'll try not to do it too much, but at least with Man of Steel, she was already she was actively hunting down Clark before.
Yes.
But it was just white male, helped somebody, disappeared, did something unbelievable, but constantly was moving. So she's just tracking this Good Samaritan.
Yeah. And
then it turns out that he also looks like Henry Cavill, who did a couple of push-ups and a couple of pull-ups.
A few.
At the very least.
Yeah.
So by the time they meet and she's already got a sense of what this guy's about, and then she finally gets all those extra pieces, which the visual, I mean, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right? It's no wonder she's like, yeah, no, I want to sleep with that guy. I want to create a life with that guy.
Yeah.
Because that guy's great. this guy's a great guy,
Mhm.
you know, regardless of all the superpowers. Because she didn't know he had superpowers. She knew something was up, something was weird, but she didn't know he had superpowers. And then when you know, so it's more believable that way. One of the few good things that, or one of the things that few things that got right about Lois's characterization. Because a lot of times she's just there.
Yeah.
You know, like I get it. You're an investigative reporter. You don't need to be on the fucking plane at the end of the movie. Oh no, I know you have to fall out so he can save you, but it's not necessary. But anyway, so getting back to this movie, the Superman stuff I largely love.
The Superman stuff is great.
I largely love like his characterization.
Christopher Reeve, no matter how the movies are, he is Superman.
He will always keep me coming back.
Like he's so good.
Oh, he's
so
so
good. Which is the reason why the fucking opening credits of the first movie pissed me off. Not only do they take forever.
Oh,
they're the longest credits in the history of credits.
Yeah. Michelle was like I was like, no, fast forward. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Fast forward.
Yeah. Adrian was like, why are you playing the end credits at the beginning?
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
But the fact that they go Marlon Brando, Gene Hackman, Superman the movie, and then Christopher Reeve, that angered me.
Yeah.
I've never.
Yeah.
Never. No matter the star power, that guy is fucking Superman in the Superman movie.
But Gene Hackman was like, I'm not fucking shaving my head to play this bald guy.
Yeah. Right.
So, I mean, like, he had, even then, like, well, it was Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
And Marlon Brando, he didn't even fucking read the script.
No.
He, like, read the script off pieces of the kid's diaper.
He walked in there and just did his Marlon Brando.
Exactly. He Marlon Brando
did. Left.
I mean, to be fair, like, you could argue that Nicolas Cage is like the reincarnation of Marlon Brando, where you're just like, I don't know what you're doing, but it's working.
Yeah.
Like, I can't argue with that. Right. But yeah, like, I know, don't get me wrong.
I think it was a fact.
He should have got top.
Not even if it was top. Like,
or at least the three of them.
Nicholson got top over Keaton, right? So, but put his name before Superman the movie.
But wasn't it like Nicholson, Keaton, and then Batman, like in the posters?
On the posters,
yeah.
But on the actual movie.
Oh no, yeah.
Nicholson's top billing, yeah. So right away, like as soon as it started, I was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why is he getting billed after the credit, like the opening title?"
And also, like, while I love Gene Hackman, I thought he did a really good Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I don't like the real estate mogul.
Oh no!
Lex Luthor.
I
like
don't.
That
I
version is one
like
of those
it.
ones where I'm like,
I do not like it.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love that he just callously is like,
feels like he's from a Looney Tunes cartoon.
We'll kill billions of people for beachfront property. You're like, okay.
Yeah, I want Australia.
But even just in the first one where he's like, we'll take out all of California and then I'll get brand new beachfront property. It's like, yeah, but like, how are you not going to be in jail?
Yeah.
Like, how is it that they're not going to go, hold on a second? Like, I mean, I get it. Like, they didn't know it was him type of thing.
Yeah.
But like,
also,
first of all,
is he in a sewer?
Oh yeah, he's 100% in a sewer.
He's in a sewer.
He's in a fucking sewer. His empire, the greatest criminal mind.
He's in a sewer.
My favorite part, the greatest criminal mind of this generation, and he's in a sewer.
He's in a sewer.
But he even gets like he even acknowledges, he's like, yeah, but like the rent's cheap. but I'm sorry. You're not the Turtles.
No.
You're not fucking Splinter.
No.
You're a dude in a sewer. So how do you leave the sewer, right?
Yeah.
And go about your day, like even Otis, like go about your day, and people aren't like, oh,
you stink.
Like you don't just stink. You like I think you make me smell, and I'm this close to you. It's like my argument with Peter Parker, right?
Yeah.
He's swinging around smog-filled New York City skyline.
Yeah, he stinks.
And then he like changes in a fucking closet, comes out, and people are just like, oh, hey, Parker, you run to work? Because, of course, he's still sweaty. Not one goes, God damn, man, what the fuck?
Shower.
Like,
once a week, dude.
And, you're going to have to hose yourself down. Like, it would be like that scene out of Anchorman where Sex Panther happens, and they're fucking hosing him.
Sex Panther.
Hey, 60% of the time, it works every time.
Yep.
That whole fucking scene. I'm not gonna lie, that smells like pure gasoline. And then my favorite out of all of them is the random chick walking by going, "That smells like Bigfoot's dick." That's my favorite line because immediately I go, every time, like the first time I watched it in the theater, I went, "She smelled Bigfoot's dick."
She knows.
That bitch is fucked. Bigfoot.
She's been there.
Well, good job, girl. Good for you. You got that hairy dick. But anyway, so yeah, so like the Superman stuff and the stuff with Clark, like just when he's being cool Clark, like just normal Clark, generally is good in the first movie.
Yeah, no, he is. Like
Except
Reeve is great at both roles.
He said Lois a million times in the first movie.
Yeah,
like so much
Lois,
that Michelle was like,
Lois,
holy fuck. Is he
Lois.
And then like in the second movie, she's like, well, at least he's not his creepy stalker.
Yeah, right.
And then I was like, you're right, but wait till Superman Returns. So wait for that one. Wait for that one.
My other major issue with Superman the movie is that they blew through the Kent farm, like his childhood. It just blew right through.
I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to see more of it though.
Yeah, but I mean, how much more could you have seen?
And that was he like already like a 3-year-old, 4-year-old kid when he arrived? I always thought he was a baby when he arrived.
Well, so
or is that another one of those things where that 40 years prior to this, that's how he arrived?
It depends. It does depend. It's kind of like well, it's kind of interesting, kind of like Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
For the most part, he was like in his late teens, early 20s when his dad was killed. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Frank Miller was like, nah, I'm gonna make him a kid. He's a young kid.
Okay.
You know? Because like Jeff Loeb, his Daredevil yellow, and it's also an origin, right? But it depicts him as being like in his late, like maybe 2021.
Oh.
Like he's in law school before his dad is killed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which threw me when I read it because I hadn't read it, and when I finally did, I was just like, "Oh, okay, weird." But then, of course, there's no mention of Stick or anything like that.
Yeah.
Which I mean, Stick was a Frank Miller insertion anyway.
Yeah.
But it was genius. Like we shit on Frank Miller, but when that guy does it good, when he gets it right, he gets it right. But
been a while.
I think it depends on the writer. But like I mean, he was a baby in Krypton.
Yeah.
And then by the time the ship flew to Earth, he was a toddler.
Right.
Which it depends. It's one of those like, So I mean, that was to be fair,
slow-moving ship.
If you didn't get the toddler, then you wouldn't have had the little nudie fucking car lift.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was funny how free they were with the kid's penis too. I guess I should have said genitals, but I was like, every time I always forget, and then I'm like, oh yeah, they show his penis.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah, they show his penis.
Yeah.
Like, not that I'm a super prude or anything, but it's just one of those like,
it is weird.
I don't know, shoot him from the fucking waist down. Like, I don't care, but I also don't need to see it.
Right.
Know?
Yeah.
And also, like if the situation were reversed and this was Supergirl, you better believe she'd be covered up from the neck down.
Oh yeah.
Right? Which is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a child.
It's a child. But it's just weird, is what it is. But anyway, so it's one of those where it just depends on the writer.
Okay.
You know, it's just like depending on the writers, they may keep both Kents alive, or they might kill one off. Now, granted, when they kill one of them off, it's almost always Pa Kent.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Almost always.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even My Adventures with Superman, which is awesome, so good.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Nice.
Season 2. Woo! Anyway, both Kents are alive.
Good.
Yeah. I like when both Kents are alive. I don't know why they do it in the movies where they kill them off. Like even in Smallville, both Kents were alive.
Yep.
I like that better because
I like them when they're alive.
It's for me, it's the human tether, right?
Yeah.
You know, Morrison, his New 52 Superman, he killed them both off.
Well, it's Morrison.
You know what? I love Morrison, but even in his All-Star one, he killed off. He killed off Pac. Now, I am not against killing these characters, but I do think it has to be some sort of a life lesson. Yeah. That's why I didn't like the Pac death scene in Man of Steel, because like the argument was he didn't want people to know, but it's like, dude, they already fucking know something's up with your son. Like the one chick, like when he saves the people from the bus, like he's in his high school age. Yeah. And the mom goes, well, he saw him. He saw what he did, you know? And so it's like, and it's a small town. I've always kind of, my own headcanon is that everyone in Smallville knows Superman is Clark Kent. Yeah. And they just don't say anything because it's a small town and we take care of our own, you know?
Small town, Smallville.
Yeah, like that's how my headcanon is. Now, granted, Superman and Lois, also a great show. Most of the people don't know. Okay. Unless he tells them. And then they kind of like, it's almost like they wake up and they go, like he tells Lana.
Shit, you're right.
And she goes, how the hell did I not see it? And he goes, people just believe what they want to believe. You know, and it's not like he's doing the loser bumbling. Like he's on the, like he's a coach, like, you know, like he looks,
he's cool.
He's in a t-shirt, like he looks like he's jacked, you know what I mean? Yeah. But overall, good show. That suit's awesome.
That's a great suit.
That
is a great suit.
The first version of the suit I thought was fucking crazy cool. I thought it was awesome. And then when they tweaked it, I was like, oh, that's
like the one that appeared in Supergirl, and then when they tweaked it for his own show.
The one that they did in Supergirl, I liked. Yeah. But then when they tweaked it for his own show, I was like, yes, that's fucking awesome. Yeah. And then they tweaked it for season 3. So season 1 and 2, it's the same, and then the second one, it's a little bit different. Also awesome. It's tough. It's hard to say which one I like better, but they're both awesome.
I still gotta watch that show.
Oh no! One of the things I didn't like was there was no imprint on the S. So like if he moved around, this happened.
Oh yeah.
Whereas they actually like do like an embossed S or whatever. So now it's like a crest, like it's plastic or whatever. Okay. So it doesn't move around, right? Good. Yeah. That was one of the things they updated. I was like, yep, you guys got it.
You know it. You know.
But anyway,
say which one was the CW shows, but they did a good job with DC.
Oh yeah, for the most part, yeah. Oh yeah. For the most part, a lot of really cool versions of those characters. I mean, fuck. Like I feel bad for the new Supergirl because Melissa Ben White's shoes or boots are pretty large to fill. Yep. She did an amazing job with that character, but also the writers largely did a great job with her character. Like, oh, so good. Yeah. And the costume was awesome. Like even later when they gave her pants, which I was like,
I didn't like it.
I understood why they did it, and it made sense, and it looked good. I prefer the skirt, you know, but I also like when they say things like she's got like shorts underneath, you know, so she's not just like wearing a thong, or whatever. But I mean, I get it. I understand why they did it, and that's fine, and it works. But anyway, getting back to this movie, the one thing I will say though is that like even now when I rewatch it with the camp mindset and knowing it's a product of its time, I still go, yeah, but he didn't fight anybody.
No.
It's all just natural disasters. Like it's all just natural disaster stuff. It's all just like chasing after missiles, stopping the missiles, and then it's like trying to stop the fault line. Like, don't get me wrong, he's trying to save as many people while he's doing this, and that's great. Like that's one of those things that Man of Steel should have done. Like even with Batman v Superman, they had that montage of him saving people. Yeah. But that could have been done like in Man of Steel in between fighting Zod.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he saved the guys in the military guys from falling out of the helicopter. Then that was it. Right? Like you're in Main Street Smallville. You could show him trying to save more people. Like actually that should be more of the challenge in those situations. It's yes, he's fighting them, but he's also trying to get all these people out of here or trying to get himself away from the big fight to draw them away from these people, that kind of stuff like that. But I mean, I think it's just like there's only so much you could do, right? And they're probably thinking that there's gonna be a lot of kids there too, so they don't want to have him fight actually physically. Beat people up until the second one where it's like half an hour of them fighting.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of fighting in that one.
Yeah, and then later on another like 5-10 minutes of fighting too in like the fortress. But overall, like
I will say the whole like San Andreas disaster stuff looks really good. I was like, this is really good looking for that time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like when he does the thing for the train track.
Yeah.
He puts his arm there. I was like, oh yes.
Yeah.
I liked that. Or even just redirecting the dam.
Yep.
And doing all that, like all those little things he was doing, like, oh, it just looked so good. It was so great. And then like when you watch the fourth one, which is you'd think would have better special effects. I mean, granted, budget was probably not as much, but still, it's like, what happened?
I don't know.
Like, holy
that was in
shit.
87.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like overall, like I said, this will be a movie that I rewatch. But I can tell you right now, I probably won't well, since Superman's coming out next year, tentatively, I'm not rewatching it before that because I've already put in the time for these ones, and I'll be sitting through 3 and 4 for our Camcast before that.
And the Donner Cutter too.
And the Donner Cut as well. So I will get my fill.
Yeah.
Oh, those 3 and 4 is like 3 is better than 4, but
you know what? As a kid, 3 and 4 were the ones I watched more because they were released when we were born.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So like,
and that Brainiac
4 I watched a lot.
Even though that's not Brainiac, but that's like the scariest version of Brainiac.
Yeah.
Oh, like Brainiac with hair.
Yeah.
It was fucking horrifying. To this day, I'm still just like, that's fucking scary. Like if I ever saw that in real life, I would probably go nuts. Like I would, like it'd be a simultaneous shriek, like a woman, hair turned gray, pants filled with shit, and probably a heart attack. Like all
of it.
All of it. And then of course, people have to find me like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, the rewatch will probably only occur when like my kid is old enough.
Yeah.
If I have one. But anyway. Also, I've been saying this a lot lately. Baby Mercier.
Baby
Mercy. Like trying to be like Jamaican, eh? Out of mercy.
I thought you were going like the Bubba Hotep
No.
guy.
Baby Mercy.
Baby Mercy.
But now I think I might have to switch it because you can't go wrong with the Bruce Campbell Elvis.
Baby Mercy.
Oh shit, that's so good. Come here, little baby Mercy. Come here, give me a little kiss on the lips of yours. That's fucking.
Give me my pecker cream.
Let's get you some grilled cheese, bacon, and peanut butter sandwiches. Throw some banana on that. Anyway, so yeah. So while I do love the movie for what it is, for what it represents, and the fact that it ushered in superhero movies.
Yeah.
Like there was no other superhero movie other than like the serials, but those don't count.
No.
This was an actual fucking and you know what? Like Star Wars. We had Star Wars to thank. Star Wars was like, look what we can do.
Yeah, Star Wars
77?
Yeah, year before, eh?
Or was it 74? I don't know.
No, 77.
It was 77.
Definitely 77, yeah.
But yeah, so I mean,
yeah.
Although the funniest part is we're talking about camp, and when we get to the second one, that's some campy ass fucking Zod.
Terrence Stamp.
Speaking of Stick,
yeah.
coincidentally, excellent casting too, by the way, for Stick. Like, and also for Zod, like this version of Zod is obviously not like Michael Shannon's Zod is the best.
Oh man,
nobody touches that Zod. Although the second season of My Adventures with Man of Steel may test that because Zod is
there.
He's there.
There.
He's been there the entire time, but they finally
there.
they finally acknowledged that he's Zod.
So why is the negative zone in this universe a plate of glass that floats through space?
Oh, you mean the Phantom Zone?
Yeah, the Phantom Zone, not the negative zone.
The second that they showed that in the first movie, I was like, oh yeah, that's the worst representation of the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, and then it just
randomly
float
floats
through space until they meet a bomb.
Yeah,
that Superman brings up.
Above Earth. Okay. Oh, sorry. Final thoughts on Superman motion picture. Go.
I give it a 3 out of 5.
I also give it a 3. Actually, I give it a 4 out of 5 for sentimental reasons.
Yeah, I'm totally understandable. Yeah. I may have gave it higher. I probably would have gave it higher back in the day.
Yeah,
obviously, but yeah, no, I think it's 3 out of 5 because really, aside the effects, the effects in the finale, and Christopher Reeve's performance and his chemistry with Margot Kidder.
Yeah.
It's not a whole lot there.
Gene Hackman's fantastic as this version of Lex Luthor, even though I hate the real estate mogul.
I don't care for it either.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, for me, 4 out of 5.
I don't see Lex Luthor when I look at that. I just see Gene Hackman. Just being Gene Hackman.
Oh, I wish you didn't say that.
I don't see Lex Luthor.
I wish you didn't say that because I have to agree.
There's nothing a character about it. It's just Gene Hackman playing Gene Hackman.
Yeah, I have to agree. Actually, I'm not going to take a full head away.
Yeah.
Oof, I might actually. Yeah, I might have to agree. You're right.
So for like
you are really right.
No,
because like every other character is the character. Yeah, you're right.
I'm looking at it with like glasses of my Superman over the last 40 years. Yeah. Not the Superman 40 years prior to the movie.
No, that's fair. So, that is fair, and you're totally right. Do you actually have a copy of Creep?
Yeah. No, not that Creep.
Okay.
Yeah, no. It's a British movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'll change it. It is 3. Yeah. Fuck. You're right. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5, but still strong 3 out of 5.
It's strong 3 and a half. Yeah, strong.
So now let's get to the best of the bunch.
Mm-hmm. Superman 2.
Telegraphed how I feel about Superman Returns a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is hands down the best of the bunch. Like there's no way around it. There's no way around it.
It is.
It's still a long movie. Not a lot happens after the first 20 minutes.
Thankfully, it's shorter than the other two.
Yeah, but there's certain things that bugged me about this, and also in Superman Returns. But at least they call attention to it. So, like the Kryptonians show up and they start causing havoc.
Yeah.
Superman would know right away.
Yeah, that was really fucking
he
weird.
would hear about
Superman. The whole world's like, where is it?
Like he would be hearing
it.
He would be hearing this, right? And
like I know you're getting it on. And
at least he acknowledges I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Like he said that line. He goes, I heard it, but I wasn't listening. Because he wanted to get some fucking pussy. I
don't blame him. Martin
and again, like, it's such a funny little thing where he's just like, I found the woman I want to marry. I've told her my secret. She's okay with it. Now I want to take away my powers.
Yeah.
You're like,
why do you gotta do that?
Wait, hold on. Did she say that she wanted you to not be Superman? Or
why do you gotta say, like, right now you can carry the couch in by yourself. You get rid of those powers, she has to help you.
Yeah. And she probably won't.
She probably won't.
She's probably smoking.
Yeah.
But anyway, there is a stretch where nothing really it is just Kryptonians.
Yeah.
And of course, he's like trying to mac her and get her going.
Yeah.
And all that other stuff. There are aspects, though. I remember watching this time around, and I was remembering parts of the Donner version, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And there's because at the end of the first movie, she starts thinking maybe Clark and Superman are the same, right? Jimmy says, "Oh, they're he's gone again or whatever," and she's starting to go, "Wait a minute." And so then in the Donner cut, they have scenes where she's actively putting herself in danger. Just yeah, she does it at Niagara, but she did it in the fucking Daily Planet.
Oh yeah,
she jumped out of the window. She said, "Hey, Clark, better call your buddy Superman." Jumps out the window. He saves her. Yeah,
this bitch is suicidal.
But I did like the Niagara one where he's just like,
the Niagara one. I was laughing. I was like,
so fucking
"Are
funny.
you just gonna let her die? She's going under, man."
Oh, Lois. Oh, here's a stick. You grab onto that stick.
Grab that stick, Lois.
And she's like furious with him.
Yeah.
Now think about
then
this.
he falls in the water, and she's like, "Oh, Clark."
Later, when she finds out,
yeah,
I would be pissed. Like I'd be pissed. I'd be like, "You seriously?"
I was dying.
You could have just. And he's like, "Yeah, but I didn't want to." You know, it was before I knew that I could sleep with you.
It's all different now.
It's like, was it Smart George and Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Where they're just like, he's just like, I calculated the odds of sleeping with a Portuguese woman. The odds were so good, I couldn't pass that up. He's like, so what the hell are you doing here? I wanted to tell you about the Portuguese woman. Oh, a waitress. Okay. All right, but anyway, like, don't get me wrong. The characterization was good enough that I buy that he's in love with her, right? And that he does want to like open himself up to it, but at the same time, he doesn't want to change what they have. Because you know, it's easy to say, "Oh yeah, I love Superman," and then when you find out that Clark is Superman, he's actually an alien. Mm-hmm. He actually came from a different planet. All this other stuff, then it's a little bit different, right? I hate that he gave up his powers, but
that was just so uncharacteristic.
Not so much uncharacteristic, but even just the thought process went into it, right?
Yeah.
Like, we talk about physics, right? I forgot to mention this, though. So the bioelectric field you could use to argue the fact that he flies her around in the upper atmosphere in her nightgown. You know how cold it is up there? I never even thought about it, but I read, this is funny, old New Warriors book, and this character, Turbo, she's flying around and she's like, I'm so lucky that this suit has built-in heaters because at this speed and this altitude with the like no jacket or anything, I'd be freezing. Like I would have gotten frostbite. So ever since then I think about that and I go, because she would be freezing.
Oh yeah.
Never mind.
And then he flies to the Arctic.
They go to the North fucking Pole.
She's on a 90.
And it's an open concept. I didn't see a bag packed or anything.
Yeah, no.
But it's an open concept thing.
Yeah.
Right? So then he gives up his powers, and I guess they just walk.
And find a car.
They walks to the rental place in the North Pole to get a car. But also get clothes.
Yeah, and they get clothes.
Because he didn't have clothes either.
No. So he doesn't have powers anymore. So he's cold too.
Like it's just a lot of like, what? Like, okay, all right, okay. And then of course, no powers, gets his ass beat by the dude, and then walks back to the fortress. Like he hitchhikes a bit, but at some point, now he's walking.
Yeah.
And okay, so this is a guy that's probably never felt pain his entire life, so he just got the shit kicked out of him. Mm-hmm. So now he's dealing with that.
Yep.
So blood, whatever, contusions, whatever, just the general pain.
Yep.
Embarrassment, right? Because he couldn't stand up for his woman. And then on top of that, he's probably never felt cold or hot or anything.
Yeah.
So he's probably the coldest you could ever like he'd be dead.
Yeah.
He would not have made it to the fortress. But okay. All right, fine. All right. But that action sequence makes up for it. A lot of this, like when he is Superman at the beginning, like he does the throws the bomb out.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, hey, Miss Lane, I think this is your floor. You know, that kind of thing. He's like, I know it's a bomb. You know, that like shit like that. And of course, when he saves the kid, all the things he's doing, it's great. It's awesome. That part hits on that whole sequence, and I'm like, ugh. Also, why wouldn't he just talk about it with Lois?
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, Lois, I had the opportunity to take away my powers. But it's a one-shot deal. Just so we're clear, one-shot deal. I lose my powers. I can never get them back ever. That's what my mom told me, only because Marlon Brando signed up for the first movie.
Yeah, not the second.
Well, no, technically he did sign up for the 2, but because Warner Brothers stopped Donner from... Because they were filmed at the same time.
Were they?
Yeah, they were. That was the intention.
Actually, you know what? That makes sense because
that's why a lot of the stuff you saw in the Donner cut,
Zod and everything was at the beginning of the first. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Like the ending where Superman turns back time. Also, he never did that ever again. It was only in that movie. that ending was actually at the end of the Donner Cut 2.
Oh yeah,
that's how it ends.
Wow.
That's why I'm saying
So
like
I'm gonna prefer
Superman
the theatrical
Returns.
cut.
That's why I'm saying Superman Returns is off that ending
Okay.
and not the theatrical ending.
Which makes sense because Superman Returns came out before the Donner Cut was available to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lots of sense.
Anyway, so yeah. The other part that actually bugged me was that like so Zod and company were very they had powers immediately.
Oh yeah. Immediately.
Which
on the moon. That was funny on the moon when they're kicking around the astronauts.
Oh yeah.
And playing with them.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
hilarious.
I was laughing.
But the levitating power, they don't
Yeah.
have. None of them have had ever. But okay. The only reason like it bugs me as a fan because like at least in Man of Steel, they had Zod go through a learning curve.
Yeah.
And I can argue anyone that his learning curve was slow or quicker because he also had like military training. Like he was literally bred as a military guy.
Yeah.
So I feel like he'd be able to master all of this stuff a lot quicker, than just showing like Ursa, for instance, right? But anyway, so they immediately have their powers because it's easy to explain.
She was hot, by the way.
Ursa? Oh yeah, she's a smoke show. In
Oh,
both versions.
Yeah.
Both versions. The latest one is, in my opinion, way better looking. But anyway, the levitating powers didn't like. But again, it just goes back to, I'm glad that they had Clark go. I was just not listening.
Yeah,
I was ignoring it, and this is all on me. So I have to go back. I have to see if there's any possible way to reverse what just happened to me, even though I was told. No.
Yeah.
But if you ask really loudly, suddenly your mom shows up and goes, actually, you know what?
Yeah. Oh, son.
I can reverse it. I don't know why I told you I couldn't, but I can. So I did. And then it leads to probably still one of the greatest fight scenes in a Superman movie I've seen. Like that Main Street fight with all three Kryptonians. It's awesome. And the special effects for that time period, creme de la creme.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that some of the things they had to do just because of the limitations at that time, but still.
No, it was really well done.
So
really
good.
well
Looked
done.
So good.
And like we were on that part. I was already feeling like, oh, this is better than the first one. But when you get to that part, you're like, oh yeah, it's definitely better.
Hands down.
Definitely better.
Hands down.
Yeah.
But now we get to talk about my favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to talk about it earlier. We talked about how Man of Steel, and like I said before, I don't like that they had Superman kill Zod.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But
you gotta respect the fact that he does it knowing there's no other way, and then has a breakdown.
Yep. The fallout afterwards.
Yeah.
Was like I even though I've said like I would have preferred if they did like a flashback.
Yeah.
And had just a quick scene where Pa says, "Hey, I need you to kill that coyote because if you don't, it's going to kill the chickens." Or even just have them both in the coop. The chickens are all dead. Clark's crying, and Pa goes, "I know why you didn't kill the coyote, but this is what happened." Right?
Yeah.
Then boom, kill Zod. Still do the tears in his eyes, like crying, scream. Awesome way to like at least cushion that blow, right? Soften it a little bit. These guys straight up casually murder these fucking people.
Oh yeah, and by the way, they're regular humans at this point.
Yeah, Superman. Also, not only did he get his powers back, but he was able to reverse.
So the entire room.
Yeah, so everyone outside of the booth that he was in loses their powers if they're Kryptonian.
Right.
Right. But the first time he lost his powers was that was it.
Because he totally saw the future and knew that all of them would be there at one point.
No. I'll give you that he intentionally drew them to the fortress. I will say that because I mean he does leave Metropolis.
Yes.
Okay? And he knew Luthor was going to say, I know where he went. Because he also told Luthor, "Hey, that fucking booth over there will steal their power, so we need to get them in that booth."
Yeah.
And immediately Luthor was like, "This motherfucker!
Yeah.
This motherfucker's gonna try and fuck you." And he's like, "Oh, Luthor! Oh, you snake!" But really, he's like, "I knew it, you idiot."
Yeah.
I fucking played.
That was funny. That was funny.
Right. So I'll add that. I'll lump that all in.
Yeah.
He knew, so he had it all set up. But it's like
It takes their powers.
But hold on. If you say it's a one-shot deal, then you turn around and say, "Okay, well, we can get it back." Well, that should be it.
Yeah.
But anyway, regardless, so he takes their powers. He fucking throws Zod.
Yep.
Into the wall, into the cavernous, whatever.
Yeah, to his death.
Same with Non.
Yep.
Same thing.
Throw
Non,
him in.
He gets thrown in.
The Lois.
And Lois punches Ursa.
And Ursa
which
falls.
is fine. I was okay with. She
Yeah.
needed to get punched in the face.
Mhm.
But just punches her. She falls in. Same thing.
Yeah.
All three die, and they're just like.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
and I remember getting heated because while I didn't like the neck break in Man of Steel, I was always saying, yeah, but this happened. Don't fucking come at me and say, oh, the Man of Steel and the Donner version was the best version, because it's like he fucking straight up casually murdered 2 people. And she killed the third, and nobody blinks an eye.
No.
And this isn't a situation where he had to kill him. He had to kill him.
He's a regular human. He can put him in prison now.
Exactly.
You're going in prison.
Yeah. Oh, you're going in prison. You're not going to go in the same prison as Luthor, though.
No.
He's going in a different one.
No, yeah,
you're going in. Like, I would put them in a special maximum prison.
Yeah.
But still, he fucking murdered Zod because he saw no other way. Should never been put in that situation, but he saw no other way, so he said, fuck it, I'll do it. And it fucked him up. They did that in the comic books too. He killed 3 Kryptonians in pre-crisis, and the same thing happened. He killed them, and then he exiled himself to space because he was fucked over it. But this one, high five, Luthor! Thanks for your help. I'm gonna put you back in jail, though. Yeah. Oh, and Lois, you got a mean left hook.
That band's over there. Let's get it on.
Yeah, hey, Lex, you don't mind turning around while I fuck this broad? Whew. I figured out how to put my powers on pause so I can... This is going to be graphic. Ejaculate in her vagina. Anyway, so, but that's like...
You got to do the bumbling way now. Ejaculate. In Lois.
Yeah.
Lois. Lois.
So it's like, Lois.
Lois.
Do you mind if I ejaculate inside you?
Lois.
Thanks, Lois.
Lois.
Gee, that sex was swell.
That was swell. Hey, Lois, those cigarettes will kill you.
But it doesn't top the ending where Lois is so fucked up that he's Superman. And he kept his powers, even though she was giving him shit for getting rid of his powers.
Yeah.
But now she's like, oh, I don't want to share you with the world, and I can't. It's like there's cops, firefighters, paramedics. All these people put their lives on the line. This is no different. And also, it's a little different, actually, because it's Superman.
They could die, and he probably won't.
As of right now, there's nothing on this planet that could kill him.
Yeah.
Although... I noticed he never looks for stray pieces of kryptonite. Like the kryptonite that fell in the drain, they don't show a scene of him going back and being like, I gotta find that fucking thing.
Yeah.
Ugh. Get a lead box for this thing. Nope.
But
it does tie into some of the complaints I have with Superman Returns. But yeah, so she's all, and then he kisses her. And she fucking forgets.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep.
And I'm like, also a power strictly for the movie.
I finished the movie and then I texted you like right away. I was like, wait a minute. Superman can erase minds with a kiss?
And immediately I was like, nah, he can't. I mean, in the movie, yes, he can.
Yeah.
But no. But yeah, okay, fine, whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, but still better than
Still better than Superman 1.
And Superman the motion picture.
Yes.
It was a lot more enjoyable, especially because they actually dialed down a lot of the cringy shit.
They did. They really did.
The stuff with Lois crying is just infuriating because you're like, shut the fuck up. And also because up until that point, Lois's character has actually largely been bang on.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
up until that point, and then you get that scene, and then you're like, yeah, Lois would be like, okay, so you're Superman and you're Clark Kent. Okay, cool. When no one else is around, I don't want you being this bumbling idiot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this bumbling idiot. He's fucking annoying. I understand why you do it, but don't do that around me. And he'd be like, yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, no
bang in the closet. I don't know why. He's making him out to be like this horn dog. But, you know. But anyway, so yeah. This was a solid 4 out of 5. I can't give it a 5 though because of the things that I really can't. Yeah. And also the casual murder alone, like that's what it is.
That's weird.
It's casual.
That's weird. So I give it 3.5 because of the murder.
It's not like
because it's like here's 3 humans and you just threw them in a pit.
Exactly.
And then you grinned about it. And you likely did go fuck.
You were like this. You were like,
yeah,
nice shot, Lois. Yeah. Like, oh, cool. And yeah, you likely did bang. And then like poor Luther.
Yeah.
I never thought I would say this, but
made him watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, he's hung like a horse too. Great. Great. Just no. I'm hung too, but I don't want to show you. Like
Gene's Luthor was better in this.
Yes.
Than the first movie.
Yes, because it did feel more like Lex Luthor actually. More so. I hate that you pointed it out, but you're right. But also just because it was the constant scheming.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Although I love that he kept calling himself the greatest criminal mind of the century.
Man.
Or
I fucking lost
time.
it laughing. I was laughing so hard when he escaped prison in a hot air balloon. And no one noticed. I was just, and then they ride that fucking hot air balloon to the fucking Arctic.
Oh, and the other part about that is also really funny is like, so like they changed in the hot air balloon.
Yeah.
Michelle pointed that out. She's like, so they have clothes? Like, yeah, test marker brought clothes. Yeah. Although it is stupid that what happened in the first movie where Superman saves test marker's mom first, specifically, because for some reason Lex goes, yeah, this place is going to go to Hackensack, New Jersey. Why? Oh, do you actually want to kill her mom? Is that the fucking thing? You know? And I also get a kick about how, like, she's just like, she's about to take the necklace off, and she goes, you know what? Fuck it. I'll sexually assault you.
Yeah. Why did you kiss me? I figured there'd never be another chance.
Yeah. And you're like, well, that's rape.
I mean, you're not wrong, bud.
Yeah, you're totally not wrong, but you're also wrong because you shouldn't have done that.
Ask me what color your panties are.
Actually, don't, because I know you're not wearing any. I know you're not wearing any.
I already looked.
Yeah, way ahead of you. I got permission once from one girl, so I mean that gives me permission for all girls.
All of them.
All of the girls. But so now, 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. So I'll say it right now. Superman Returns, 3 out of 5.
Okay.
It sits with Man of Steel because there's still a lot of really cool stuff in there.
Yeah.
But the characterizations in this movie, whoa, holy shit! Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that there's a barrier to Bosworth's acting range.
Yeah.
And even Brandon Routh too. Like, I don't want to make it seem like he's this unbelievable actor either.
No.
He's good, but like
he's good.
There's like they both hit a wall here. But not only that though, the characterizations are so fucked up. And I think part of that is also from what we know about Kevin Spacey and Bryan Singer now.
Yeah.
You know, I've never referred to Superman's shorts as twink shorts until I rewatched this movie yesterday. Or the day before. No, it was yesterday, yeah. And I remember just being like, that's why he's got twink shorts. That is exactly why he looks like he's wearing a Speedo.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone's male gaze was like, he needs to wear a Speedo.
Hey, Brandon.
And I'm not trying to make it seem like all gay people are predatory, but that motherfucker was predatory.
Yes.
That probably still is. And same with Kevin Spacey. And I would say Bryan Singer probably still is because he has had nothing bad happen to him except his movie career's done.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
For now.
Well, he's gone.
He might be
deep
filming.
Underground.
He might be filming in Italy with his buddy.
With his buddy. Yeah.
With his buddy.
Italy is a place to be.
And I'm sorry, but they were buddies. They were big time buddies. Yeah. There's no way.
Well, Usual Suspects all the way on. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But
yeah. So.
So a few things with Superman Returns.
Aside from the costume, because we already talked about.
Aside from the costume, it has aged well. The action and everything is really well done.
Special effects.
Special effects are great.
Great.
And I do enjoy the bullet to the eye scene.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's awesome, especially when you don't get that in the originals. Right? That's cool.
That's fucking cool. When they
showed
that
Man of Steel, that's
I remember seeing that in the trailer, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" Yeah. And the first thing that I said was, "Oh, they ripped off Supreme Power because they had that in Supreme Power."
They
did. Mark is in the strip club.
Yeah.
In his Hyperion suit, and that general dude shows up, and he's just like, "Hey, Mark, what's going on? What are you doing?" He's like, he's pretty much like, whatever the fuck I want, because what can you do? And the guy says something like, yeah, blah, 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 and he just grabs his gun. Anyway, you were saying?
I believe.
As he's casually x-ray visioning the strippers, I remember that. Yeah. Fuck, I gotta reread those, 7 issues that they wrote together? Because Gary Frank was on, I think, 6 issues.
18 issues.
But the art... No, Supreme Power wasn't 18 issues.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I think it was only 9, and 2 of them weren't drawn by Gary Frank.
But
then Squadron Supreme, it was relaunched as Squadron Supreme.
Oh, yeah. No, Supreme Power was 18. Squadron Supreme was only 9. You got it flipped.
Do I? Okay.
I'm pretty sure you got it flipped, buddy.
It's possible.
Because for some reason they decided to move it over to the PG universe. Even though it was amazing in the Max universe.
I gotta recheck that out because I remember I really liked that.
It was so good. Dr. Spectrum,
Once they dropped the art, I remember being like, once Gary Frank was off the art, it was hard because. But I checked out the 2 miniseries.
Yeah, they weren't bad.
The Nighthawk one was good.
Nighthawk and Dr. Spectrum. And Hyperion had one too, I think. There's 3.
So I only checked out the Hyperion and the Nighthawk one.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 18.
But then it had no ending because they just canceled it.
Yeah. And then, of course...
And then
switched it over to
Supreme. And then also canceled that. Actually, no, Straczynski left because he was fucking tired of it.
Yeah. He left. They rebooted it as Squadron Supreme, brought it into the main world, but then used the old versions of the costumes.
Yeah.
So they brought Mark Milton back with that god awful red and yellow with the fucking Buccaneer boots and everything, and I was like, what was wrong with Hyperion's costume?
He looked awesome.
He looked awesome. Like, I liked that one, and then you are right. Yeah, because the first 9 issues, they were all in secret.
Yeah.
And then he outed them because they had that big battle, him and Dr. Spectrum.
Yeah.
And then he met up with Zatara. That's right. And then they switched it so he had that maroon suit, and then had the yellow. Like light brown, almost tan belt stuck. So it was same colors as the original suit.
Yeah. You're
right. Yeah. And that's when they started doing the actual team. Yeah. You were 100% correct. Yeah. So I think Frank was on it longer than I'm remembering.
He was on it. I think he left.
He did not close out the run.
No, he did 6 issues of Squadron Supreme.
Yeah.
6 issues. And then I think it went to like 8 or 9 with Travis Foreman. Did he take or Travel Foreman?
Yeah, Travel Foreman.
I think because at that time they were replacing everyone with Travel Foreman.
Yeah, which I don't understand.
Oh, our artist left the series. Get Travel.
Yeah, I mean, he's all right.
He's all right.
But I mean, it's like you don't follow.
Yeah, Gary Frank.
You don't follow George Perez.
Yeah.
With I'm just trying to think. I'm going through my Rolodex.
Anybody?
Yeah, I was gonna say
right.
I was gonna say Eric Larson. And I was like, yeah, but Eric Larson's art is really good. But it's like it's not George Perez.
It's not George Perez.
And even me as an Eric Larson fan, I'd be like, okay, good. I mean, I'm glad it's.
I mean,
Eric Larson, but
you had Perez.
Couldn't you just pay Perez more?
Yeah,
or like whatever he was asking.
That was a god.
Oh my god, yeah. Holy fuck.
It's still crazy to think he's gone.
No kidding.
Oh, we'll never get any new George Perez books.
Well, I mean, to be fair, nothing lasts forever, right? So
yeah.
But anyway, okay. So getting back to Superman Returns. Okay, so everything that they had Superman do in this movie for the when he was saving people, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm with you. Like the perfect Superman is the physicality of Man of Steel.
Yeah.
And also the visual.
Yeah.
Right? Like he should look like he's big.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But also have the saving people's lives, but together. Like I love the part where he's going to fly out to the island.
Yeah.
To find Lois, but then he sees the fault line happening and he knows it's going straight to Metropolis, and he's just like, fuck, okay, go back. And even the scene where he's melting the glass, they never ever show glass cutting people unless it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
And this sequence specifically, now you're like, oh yeah, of course, why wouldn't he melt glass? Oh, blow out all the fire. Fuck, there's so many cool fucking scenes.
There's a lot of good shit.
The plane scene.
The plane scene's incredible.
The plane scene is fucking incredible. Even though it's absurd that they had, for some reason, Lois bounce around with no seatbelt on.
Yeah.
Which she would have been dead, at the very least, disabled, paraplegic.
Yeah.
But, I was literally, Michelle and I both, I was like, well, that's what, 3, 4, at the very least, cracked ribs? She's like, well, concussion, possibly a cracked skull, possibly a punctured lung. And she even estimated probably a cracked spine of some sort because she got fucking thumped.
Oh, she was bouncing.
And every time I laugh because I'm just like, it's so absurd that they put that in the movie.
Yeah.
I get it. She didn't have her seatbelt on. Figure something else out because that's fucking ridiculous. She didn't even lose her shoes.
Didn't even break her heel.
Exactly. Both heels, both shoes, completely fine. But she fainted when she saw Superman. Although I did like the callback line statistically. I hope this doesn't turn anybody off from flying because statistically speaking, it's still the safest form of travel. I'm like, that's the funniest fucking.
Ruth was really, really good.
He was good
as a follow up to Chris Reeve.
Well, he was good as a guy doing Christopher Reeve as Superman,
right?
And
I've never held anything against him. I mean,
no, he was told to do it that way.
He
was directed.
You signed up for a losing battle. You weren't going to win that. I mean, he was good. Kate Bosworth is good.
It's good, except
is good.
They're both good, but the character
they don't have the chemistry that the other two had, though.
No,
and that's the thing. They don't have that chemistry.
My favorite character in the whole movie is still to this day John White.
Yeah,
he's my absolute favorite character in the whole movie. Lois had Superman.
Mm-hmm.
He leaves. Doesn't say goodbye, which is horse shit. He would have said goodbye. He would have said, hey, look.
Yeah.
They found my planet. I'm going to go see if I can find more people like me. She would have been like, okay. How long are you going to be gone? I have no idea. Okay. She would have been fine with it.
Yeah.
But okay, fine. He did tell her. That's a sore spot. So then she hooks up with some dude who is smart, funny, attractive, also works at the Daily Planet.
Yeah.
Also can fly, technically with a plane, but still that counts.
Still counts.
So she got the most human version of Superman next, and she's still not happy. Are you fucking kidding me? And there's a lot of stuff that's implied simply because she had a kid.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, man. Can we talk about the cool scenes again?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. That plane scene, man. When he fucking does the unveiling and he takes the shuttle part off and they're fine. Then he goes after the whole thing. I saw that in the theater and I was like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome. And every time I watch that movie, that's one of the scenes that I have to see because it's just like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Although this time around, I did think it was kind of weird that he used his heat vision to take the couplings off, but didn't use his heat vision to rip one of the wings off. He wanted to physically rip it off himself.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, if you're trying to stop it from moving around, why would you do the thing that would increase moving it around? In a circle. But regardless, I was still just like, yeah, that's a little bit, but overall, man, oh, man. But even the little things that they do, when he's stopping it and then it starts impacting around him.
Yeah.
And then there's that ripple effect.
Yo. The effects were really good in this.
So fucking good.
And that's why I say, like, man, if James Gunn can hit that
sweet spot
right between this and Man of Steel,
because that's the thing.
He'll have it.
It's like, well, I mean, how couldn't he? Like, look at all 3 of the Raimi Spider-Man.
Yep.
Okay. Look at Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's shit like that in there too. He's saving people while he's fighting bad guys.
Yep.
Okay. Look at every single MCU Spider-Man movie. It's doable.
Mm-hmm.
You can do both.
Yeah.
Okay. And look, this character, this is the easiest character to do both, and still look fucking amazing. But anyway, so that plane scene is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. The plot of this movie, this was the first time I remember that even when we watched it back in the day when it came out, and I was like, this is a remake of the first one. This is just an update. This is the first time I ever started thinking of, oh, this is a rebootquel. I didn't say the word.
Yeah.
But that was the first time that I was
rebootquel.
Like, this is literally because Luthor apparently doesn't remember everything that happened. So he's now back to knowing a lot about Superman, but not everything. Okay. But he can still stroll into the fucking Fortress of Solitude.
Oh, yeah.
You left the planet for 5 fucking years. You're not going to put in, like, at least in the comic books, there's a giant fucking door. Okay. And
exactly.
And there's depending on the continuity, there's either a giant fucking key that only people like Superman can physically pick up and put in the lock to turn it, which is actually kind of funny, or like Morrison in All-Star. It was a dwarf star metal thing.
Yeah.
So while it was super tiny, again, only Superman could pick it up, and it's just right there on the ground. Oh, there's the key. I'll just go ahead. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not getting in this.
Oh, that's too heavy.
And then on top of that, of course, the robots that help keep the place and the upkeep and all that. But okay, fine. Again, no door.
Nope.
Just open concept.
Wide open.
Just stroll right in. And then, and again, no password.
Yeah.
Doesn't even, like, visually recognize, hey, wait a minute. You're not Kal-El.
No.
I've seen you before. You're that Lex Luthor guy from 5 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
Who did the same fucking thing.
Same thing.
But anyway, he was good as Lex Luthor, though. I have to say, he was actually really good. The perfect blend of malice and just camp,
just enough camp.
Just enough
to let you know this is coming off of those movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, he played a good.
He was really good.
Superman loses his powers and Luthor becomes super strong.
Punches him like
across the island.
Never mind that Superman doesn't realize something's wrong before he gets on the island.
Yeah.
This is an island that's infused with kryptonite and parts of his home world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He would have felt it before he almost would have I would have liked it if as he was landing, he stumbles a bit and he's just like, what the fuck? And then but now he's so focused on Luthor that he's just like, whatever, I gotta get my game face on, right? Mm-hmm. Then you could do the sweat or whatever. But I agree. Even the first time I watched it, I went,
yeah. Like punch him and knock him to the ground. Don't punch
yeah. Not punch him off the stairs. Yeah. I would accept punch him down and he falls down the stairs. Yeah. Okay, fine. But punch him off the stairs. What?
Yeah.
And also, not that I'm saying that the thugs should have just curb stomped him, but it was weird that they didn't just start pummeling him.
Oh yeah.
Let's drag him by his face.
Yeah.
Which is gross. It's a weird way to do it, but grab him by his neck and stuff. You're like, it's not cool. But why wouldn't they just be like,
yeah.
Right?
I don't know, man.
Kryptonite. But Kryptonite still just out in the open.
Yeah.
Superman's never once sat there when I should probably put this in my Fortress of Solitude. No one's ever going to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
Yeah.
So what?
And if they do, well, they can just walk in.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, if they get there, they might as well just
go for it.
Fucking take it. But yeah, so it just comes down to the story for me and the characterizations. Clark is creepy in the stalking aspect.
Yeah.
Like he was.
I actually just got a little bit chilled.
Like in the first one, he was pretty rough.
Yeah.
He was bordering on being a creep.
Yep.
I think like if this was the same characterization in today's world, Lois would definitely be like, "Hey, Perry, I can't work with that guy. He's fucked. He won't leave me alone. He says my name all the fucking time."
Lois.
And I don't know about you, but I can only smoke so many cigarettes in a day. And I'm smoking a lot.
Yeah.
I can't work with him.
Have you seen my ashtray lately? It's gross.
Like, I worked beside Steve Lombardo, who's a fucking dirtbag, for years. I can't work by this guy. But anyway, okay. Super Stalker. Superman's first move isn't, I'm going to follow you home. And then I'm going to x-ray your house. And I'm going to see, oh, you seem happy. And then I'm going to fly away all sad. I did like that they incorporated the scene where he's listening. He's outside Earth listening.
Yes.
I thought that was cool because it's a really nice touch. Like even Zack Snyder had said, like, that's a crazy scene. Like, because if you think about it, he hears everything. So he makes a choice to save person A. He hears person B dying.
Yeah.
How fucked up is that? That's fucked up. And I love that they had that scene because you're like, okay, all right. And then of course, you get the homage to Action Comics, the car scene, which is great.
That was cool.
Parker Posey, Parker Posey's great as the Tessemacher stand-in.
She was in everything during that time frame.
Well, to be fair, it's Parker Posey.
It's Parker Posey.
I'd fucking cast her.
Parker Posey.
I mean,
I don't know where she is now.
Well, she was one of my highlights in Blade Trinity too.
Oh yeah,
I was like, holy
Parker
shit!
Posey.
I think you're cooler than Deacon Frost.
Yeah.
And I thought Deacon Frost was fucking cool.
You cool, but you hot.
Yeah. But also, you fucking cool.
Yeah, fucking cool. You got dogs and Triple H.
Yeah. Fucking Triple H. You know what's funny? I still think he subtly played his character gay.
Yeah.
I don't have any theory. I wouldn't. I because I'm familiar enough with him. I guarantee you that's not the thought process. But in my head canon, I'm like,
I really wish someone would bring that up during a scrum. This way, anyone have a question for Triple H? Yeah, can we talk about Blade Trinity?
Yeah. Because
what was your thought process for playing that character?
Because I gotta tell you,
were you gay?
He seems, what's the phrase, queer coded or gay coded?
Oh man!
And it's not even just the dog; it's everything.
Yeah,
the dog doesn't help.
No.
Definitely doesn't help. But anyway, but yeah. So we had creepy stalker Superman.
Yep.
Right. But also some of the stuff they did with Clark too. Like he went to work with his fucking suitcases. And then was like, does anybody have a place that I can stay? Like, you haven't been here for 5 fucking years. Some of these people don't even know who the hell you are.
Yeah. So, why would you have a job?
Why would they even sit there and be like, yeah, sure, a perfect stranger?
Yeah.
I just met 30 seconds ago.
That'd be like you walking into Walmart.
Exactly. I used to work here and I just got my job back and I don't have a place to stay. Can somebody give me a room? What?
Yeah, there's eruption in this movie for sure, and oh man, it's so weird that Singer and Michael Dougherty and James Marsden all left X-Men for this.
Well, I guarantee you they thought this would be the smash blockbuster.
Yeah.
Hit. Okay.
But
there's next to no action in this movie.
Hey, you know what? Let's continue Superman off of a movie from 1980. In 2006.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's going to be a smash hit.
Not only that, we're also going to be pretty much just updating the first movie because it's still real estate.
Yep.
It's still like real estate mogul / psycho Lex Luthor. Okay. Now instead of getting Australia or like, it's still beachfront property. Now it's a giant island.
Giant island.
It's also going to destroy millions of people. Okay, fine.
Yep.
Superman comes to Earth in a ship again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They specifically did that to mirror that.
Yep.
But even like the scene where he was a kid and he was in the cornfields, I was like, who was this scene for?
Yeah.
I know it's Superman. I know he can fly. I know he was a kid who couldn't fly at that point, but I didn't need to see that part.
That should have happened in the first movie.
Yeah.
If anywhere.
Exactly. But like, okay, I don't know what that scene's there for. The stuff I was talking about with Lois. Lois is probably the worst character in this movie, and it's all stuff that's implied because of just things that she did. First and foremost, I don't know, like, I mean, again, Bosworth has like a ceiling, but the character was brutal. So here it is. So Superman and Lois hook up in the Fortress of Solitude when he has no powers.
Yes.
Okay. He gets her pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Immediately leaves, right? Doesn't say goodbye, which he would have, but he doesn't say goodbye. So she's all butthurt about that, which naturally you would be. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You just found out that this guy that you fell in love with is also, blah, 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 whatever.
Yep.
So then she finds out that she's pregnant, or she doesn't find out she's pregnant, but she almost immediately meets John, but has to meet John quick enough and have sex with him quick enough within a relatively quick time frame, like within 2 weeks, so that when she starts showing that she's pregnant, she's now, that's your kid, John, even though she's partly thinking it might be Superman's kid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. At the point, let's say at this point, she doesn't really.
Yeah.
She doesn't really think. She kind of thinks, but whatever. She let this guy think it was his kid.
Yeah.
They got engaged.
For years.
They got engaged. At no point in time did she ever even slightly suggest, hey, just so you know, might not be your kid. Okay? Doesn't do that at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Superman comes back. She's so angry that he comes back that she doesn't even say, hey, by the way, this kid might be yours. I get it. She's on the fence. She's not 100% sure. Timings don't light up. But again, we're painting her in an even worse light. She looks worse now the more you think about it.
Yep.
They don't want you to think about it, but I'm a thinker. I got nothing to do but think.
What else am I going to do?
I think, and then on top of that, at the end of the fucking movie, when Superman's on his deathbed, so to speak, that's when she says, oh, hey, you're dying? He's your kid.
Yeah.
Doesn't tell John.
No.
And then what does Superman do? He immediately goes to the house, breaks and entering into that house to give a speech, which is a great speech. I get teared up every time I hear it, but I'm still in context. I'm like, what? So poor John is now going to, and especially because knowing that the idea was the second movie was going to be him training his kid to be Superman, and then ultimately he was going to die, and the third movie was going to be him taking over as Superman. What about John?
Yeah.
Like you said, Marston left X-Men for this with the idea that it was going to be at least a 3-movie deal.
Yep.
I guarantee you he signed a 3-movie deal because that's what they thought it would be. So his character would have become a bad guy, I guess, in retaliation because his life was stolen from Superman, which really was stolen from Lois. Like, it makes her look real fucking bad. Like, Superman, when he's saving people, is Superman. Creeper Superman, not cool. Didn't like that at all. I did get a kick how he fell from the sky coincidentally in like the Central Park of Metropolis. The trajectory lined up perfectly.
Beautiful. Aim.
I don't even...
John would have become Doomsday.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Because they would be like, he's so angry that his outside's matching his insides now.
Actually, yes. That's right. That's right. With a little bit of kryptonite.
Yeah, with a little bit of kryptonite.
Just a little bit of kryptonite to like kind of pull it. I like that. His outsides matched his insides. He's so filled with murderous rage.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn. Like, if it wasn't for the spectacle and the stuff that they got right,
they did do a lot right.
This is overall not a good Superman movie.
No.
There are good Superman parts.
It would have been way better if they would have just started from scratch.
Oh,
why they had to connect this to the originals in any way.
It was too far removed to do that.
But if we connect to the originals,
it was what
we can have John Williams score, and we can have Marlon Brando.
The last one was what, 86?
87.
87.
Plus for pieces, 87.
So 19 years. They wanted to tie a movie that the last came out 19 years.
Yeah. Ignoring the one that came out in 87 before that.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're tying this to the movie that came out in 1980.
Yeah. So, okay, fine.
And not even the version that came out in 1980. The unreleased version that's still coming.
Right. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And this is and again, for Superman fans, it's, you have to sit, then you go like I remember getting out of the theater being like, I really want to like this more than I did.
Yeah.
Because like you wait, and then you get something and you're like, oh, and then you watch it and you're like, oh, okay, all right. So again, like rewatching these movies is definitely helped my appreciation of Man of Steel. Like, and also, again, reiterating my previous points with Zack Snyder is if he's got somebody that's able to sit there and go, no, Zack, no, don't smell your own farts.
Didn't smell good.
You have to cut this scene here, and we have to do a couple of things that you don't want to do. It's called dialogue, but it's not exposition. It's literally just character dialogue. So you get a feel of these characters. Fine.
Cut this, and this.
Fine, Mr. Nolan.
Only if I can release a 4.5-hour R-rated cut later.
Okay, Nolan, you can do this.
Did you think Superman Returns took place in the same universe as Batman Begins?
Yes, it did.
It did, didn't it?
Originally, the idea was that that was to
because it came out a year later.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the lead-in into universe,
and it would make sense that Batman and all this shit, all this crime would be happening while Superman was gone for 5 years.
Yeah, and then also it was supposed to lead into Justice League Mortal.
Right.
No, that's wrong. First, it would have been World's Finest, because they were talking about doing a World's Finest.
That was the one that George Miller was doing, right? The guy that did Mad Max?
Yeah, he was supposed to do Justice League Mortal. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, that's how it was supposed to eventually get to that point.
Okay.
Which is crazy to think that they were already thinking a not necessarily cinematic universe, but tying these movies together. Because they'd never done that before.
And they would have beat Marvel to the punch if they would have kept going.
Yeah. Well, this is where that weirdo marketing, like weirdo budgets come into play.
Yeah.
So this movie, I know we weren't going to do budgets, but this one it ties in.
It was still successful enough. I think it was.
No. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
But no at the same time, and I'll go through that.
Okay.
So the budget was $223 million.
Holy fuck! Really?
Box office. Well, there's two numbers here. There's 204 million net and 223 million gross. I don't know what that has to do.
Yeah,
with
we'll just say it's the high one.
So yeah, actually, you know what? Let's do Box Office Mojo.
So the world box office. Wow, that's a high budget.
Yeah.
Man, Steel wasn't even that much, was it?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I didn't look at Man of Steel's. Well, you're looking at that one.
Okay, so Superman Returns Box Office Mojo. It's officially... Yeah, so the gross was like worldwide 391, like we'll round up to 392. It's just about there. Does it say budget? Yeah, okay, so 200 and yeah, so
okay, so yeah, no, it didn't.
But the other part,
you got to double it, right?
Yeah, so that 2.5% multiplier. So first of all, didn't do that.
No.
Second of all, they were trying to recoup losses from like the previous Superman movies on top of that. And their other part then, and of course, because like it only made like 400 million and it didn't make $1 billion. They thought this was going to do $1 billion, which again, watching the movie, I'm like, I don't know how they thought that this was going to be this blockbuster smash. It came out in the summer and everything. Like, I remember I left Walmart with Aaron Rogala. He picked me up, or Thompson. Thompson. He picked me up from Walmart to go, and we watched that movie. And I was just like, it's funny. We also watched Batman: The Dark Knight together too.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I watched it once with you, and I watched the other one with him. Anyway, and yeah, I remember thinking like it's good. Like there was enough about it. I was like, it feels weird. It doesn't feel like, And the more I watched it, the more I was like, yeah, because like some of those scenes are just so cool that you forget how shitty some of the rest of the parts are. Like even the scene where he takes the boat out of the water. That sequence, it's a like 45-second sequence of him just flying out, but it looks awesome. It looks so cool. And then of course, like, they're on the boat or they're on the ship or whatever. He's like, I gotta go back. And then Lois like, oh no, the island's gonna kill him. All of it. Like that whole end sequence is awesome. I don't even care that he threw a giant island of kryptonite into the sun, because he went to the sun.
He charged up.
I would have liked it a little bit longer, but still he charged up.
I thought that was awesome.
I'm glad they put that in there, so then it made perfect sense.
Yeah.
So, and of course it's Superman. He's just going to do what he can but they tried to do Superman death scene, and then they go, okay, well, that didn't work, so let's do another try at this, and then kill him off again with Doomsday. And you're like,
yeah.
Fucking establish the character first before you kill him off. But yeah, so all this budget bullshit. So of course they're like, well, it didn't make $1 billion, so it was a flop. I'm like, well, you kind of set it up to fail, though.
Yeah, I mean, you continued it off of a 26-year-old movie.
Like that's the worst part. It's like 26 years old. Hold on. So yeah,
at the time,
just
right?
about almost 30 years. So that's an entire generation of kids that haven't seen this movie.
Yeah.
And that's the Superman.
And the last guy that played Superman became paralyzed and died at different times. During the whole time there had been no Superman movie. Like, it's a long fucking time.
And didn't they start, like, wasn't Smallville going before this movie came out?
Smallville was wrapping up. Superman the Animated Series was big. Like, that was the generation they needed.
Superman the Animated Series would probably be the one, the closest. And that, I think, only went for a couple seasons. But it led into Justice League.
Yes.
And
which Batman came over from his show.
Yeah.
But that's the crowd you got to appeal to.
I don't think Smallville was wrapping up when that...
No, it wasn't. It was probably about halfway point.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it went for a surprisingly long time.
Yeah, I think it ended around 2010.
2011.
2011? Okay.
Yeah.
It started in 2000, right? The year
2001.
Ah,
10 years. In the year 2000.
10 years. So, yeah, right in the middle when it came out.
So, yeah, I mean, again, this is one of those where, like, the parts are really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
And that entire, like, even the shit on the island, like, even though Lex is overpowered, which makes no sense, I mean, and we got the Jesus scene again. But, like, he stabbed him with the fucking kryptonite thing, broke it off, like, twisted it, broke it.
That was kind of awesome.
That was like, holy shit. Then throws him in the water. I was just like, oh my, like, fly. I was like, Jesus. Like, that's so good. So, like, oh.
Yeah.
And then...
I'm rating the movie higher in my head the more we talk about it.
Well, it's just, there's the things they got right were so fucking good. But again, like, it's a highlight reel. When I think about these movies, I think about the highlight reel.
Yeah.
I don't think about the stuff that I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Man of Steel, I like the whole movie. I'm like, oof, I got the whole movie, and there's only like a couple of things, like, aside from the death, like the murder scene, I'm just like, overall, I'm still like, yeah, it's a great Superman movie.
Yeah.
It adds to the mythos, makes it its own, but also, like, there's just some really cool things in it. Obviously there's some things they could have done better, but okay.
Yeah. Well,
there's less I don't like in those movies than I do in these movies.
Yeah.
And then once we get to 3 and 4, oh,
I haven't revisited those bad boys in a while.
Well, like I said, the third one is still largely really good. It's this, strangely enough, for me, it's the Lex Luthor knockoff. Okay, you couldn't get him for the third. I get it, but then don't do a business type bad guy then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he might as well have been Lex Luthor. Although, to be fair, he might have done a better job.
He could have.
Because he might have been less himself and more the actual character. But regardless, also, it's weird to use Superman as a vehicle to get Richard Pryor into movies. Because, he's funny in it because it's Richard Pryor. And his character is, all right. But it's still just...
It's Richard Pryor. I never watched Richard Pryor stand up and went, that guy should be in Superman. That guy.
But I don't want to make it sound like I think he's out of place in it, but they literally do say, one of the reasons he was cast was sort of as a vehicle to get him into movies. And I'm like, that's a weird reason to cast him.
It's a buddy cop movie, really, when it comes down to it.
Yeah. But again, the Brainiac stuff, the stuff he does to Superman, the Superman, Clark versus evil Superman is wow, so good.
Yeah.
And no weird Saran wrap, I noticed.
No.
No multiple versions of himself. But yeah, so yeah, I think I might actually. I'm at 3. No, I'm gonna leave it at 3 because the stuff that I really do like.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. And again, I will rewatch this movie, but this is same with the other 2.
Yeah.
Actually, all of the Donner movies, it'll be one of those come here, kids, let's show you what I used to watch.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, Dad, this is gay. And I'll be like, we don't say that in this household. We say, that's not cool.
I got it from you.
I know you did. Actually, they wouldn't because I haven't said it like that in quite a while. For some reason, I channeled
a long time.
I channeled my inner kid.
Yeah.
And yeah, we definitely said that when we were younger.
Oh yeah, no.
And by younger, I mean in our 20s.
Yeah. About everything.
Oh, gay, fat, all those things. Sorry.
That price is gay, and
Oh yeah.
The flavor of this is.
Although.
Yeah,
I had said, I remember saying there has to be a point where other gay people go, look, I suck dick. Mm-hmm. As a guy, I suck dick, but that's the gayest guy I've ever seen in my life. And, but anyway, enough about that shit. So overall, I say check the movies out. If you've never seen the movies, watch the movies because they are a piece of Superman's history.
I would recommend giving them all a rewatch before the James Gunn movie.
100%. Yep. 100%. Also, if you haven't watched My Adventures with Superman, check it out. Yeah, it's aimed more for the kids than it is for the adults, but it's awesome.
I like the animation.
Animation is great. What's his face? Quaid is really good.
Yeah.
As both Clark and Superman. There was a little bit of uproar about the race change for Lois, but she's awesome. The character is awesome. Mm-hmm. I don't even care that they changed her race, but then again, it's Lois, not Superman, right?
Yeah.
So, but Jimmy's he's black, but they did that in Supergirl.
Yeah.
But again, it's just I always find it funny when they get so mad about the race stuff, and it's yeah, but you understand that at the time period when these characters were created, unless they were called black something, they were white.
Yeah.
They were fucking white.
All black superheroes have black in the title.
You're gonna tell me that you got an entire group of mutants and not one of them is off-colored? I mean, granted, was it 70s when Giant Size X-Men came out? And that's where you got Thunderbird. That's
when you got it all, yeah.
You got Thunderbird, who was Native American. Then you got Storm.
Yep.
African, actually straight up African.
Nightcrawler is German.
Nightcrawler is German, but that's still white. But
in his case,
still
blue.
German. Still, you had German. Then you had Wolverine as Canadian.
Yeah.
Wasn't Sunfire there too? Japanese? Wasn't he on the cover? No.
No.
I don't think so. Yeah, I know. I'm doing the same thing. Where I'm like, I
God
don't
damn
think
it!
so.
Now that you
But now
said it, Sunfire, or did he
Giant
come later?
Yeah, he did. He came
Oh,
later.
Banshee was the one flying on the cover.
No, Storm. This is it right here.
Cyclops. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no Banshee. Why did I think Banshee?
But
was on the cover?
Banshee was another one. He was around for a while. So, and Irish.
Yep.
You want to hear something really funny? I just realized this. I didn't realize. I just heard this now. But like, so the reason why Daredevil is a Catholic is because it's primarily set in Hell's Kitchen, which was primarily Irish Americans, and Irish Americans were statistically Catholic. So it was just something that Stanley did because of where he wanted him to be from.
Okay.
So they never really emphasized it too much until, guess who?
Frank Miller.
You got it. Frank Miller got in there.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I honestly, I think it's one of the most compelling aspects of the character for a guy that's like knowledgeable about religion, but not religious. I just think it's really, I like it when they take care, like the Netflix show, obviously.
Yeah.
But like even the movie, they have him. Doesn't he do like he?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he did a lot.
Yeah, like
it was a huge part of the movie. Actually.
Yeah, exactly. So even though he didn't really give a shit about killing people.
Yeah, there was that.
Well, it's not even.
Well, it was kind of the same as Batman, right? You're throwing around your batteries. He was throwing around the billy club.
The guy was fucking fell on the train tracks, and he didn't save him. Quesada.
But he was blind.
He was literally called Quesada.
You couldn't see him.
You're right. He couldn't see him with one of the coolest versions of his radar vision. I actually really liked it.
I really liked it too. I actually liked a lot about the movie. I know a lot of people don't, but
overall, like one of the things I don't like is when he's jumping around and swinging around. It's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It is Spider-Man. They could have tweaked it so it looked more distinct.
Yeah.
But overall, like, I mean, even the costume, I remember when we saw pictures of it, I was like, okay, well, what are you going to do? The guy's in bright red.
Yeah.
At
least he's in red and not black.
And they kept the DD, and I remember like, okay, well, they kept the DD. They
shrunk it, so, yeah.
And it was like leather biker gear, and I was like, well, it makes sense. I mean, that's extra added protection. And to be fair, I think he did like a lot of his own stunts.
Yep.
It's not a bad movie. I wouldn't even say it's a bad Daredevil movie. I mean, for fuck's sakes, Michael Clark Duncan, perfect fucking casting.
He was so good. And
we're gonna do a Camcast. We're gonna have to do a Camcast,
which also means we're gonna do Electra.
Oh yeah. I mean, we will. Yeah, we will. I mean, as a spectacle, it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Pretty fucking cool. It's not a good movie. But as a spectacle, pretty fucking cool.
Cool spectacle.
Yes. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Story, not so much.
Yeah.
I guess I telegraphed it by saying Terrence Stamp and Stick, eh?
You did. Yeah, right from the start.
Motherfucker.
Right from the start.
So we tie up this episode with another comment about Daredevil.
Yeah.
For people are going to be like, Daredevil.
Full circle.
His favorite character of all time. And it's not.
Yes. Yeah.
This version is my favorite. Of all.
Well, I mean, you probably put him pretty high up on the Marvel list of favorites.
Oh, for sure. He's actually the Netflix version, Charlie Cox's version, is like one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
Just characters in general.
Yeah.
I love that show so much. I really do. Like, it's I understand why some people will watch Breaking Bad and go, that's the greatest show I've ever seen. Or Mad Men, same thing. I couldn't get into either of those shows.
Yep.
Which is so funny that I'm like halfway through the final season of Breaking Bad, and I'm like, I just don't care. I don't care. But that show, I'm like, yep, give it to me. Give it to me. All the time. All the time. BoJack Horseman, same thing. Archer, same thing.
Yep.
It just sucks with Archer because that's like fucking 12 seasons.
Yeah, no, that show went on forever.
But that's also like background, like fall asleep on the couch.
Once you've seen it
whatever.
so many times, like I do that with my favorite shows. Now.
Yeah.
Like
Daredevil, I don't do that. Daredevil's not a background.
If I'm tired and like I don't think I could stay up, but I'm not ready to go to bed.
Yeah,
I'll put on one of my favorite shows.
Yep.
And fall asleep. I fall asleep.
Yep, exactly. And then wake up and
which is usually sitcoms. It's usually like The Office or How I Met Your Mother or
actually I gotta do a rewatch of How I Met Your Mother.
The Good Place.
God, The Good Place. Oh,
yes.
fuck, The Good Place is still good. I gotta do a rewatch of that one too.
Yeah.
Oh,
New Girl. Those shows.
New Girl, I really
Those
like.
are the shows
I haven't ever done a rewatch on that one, and I'm a little leery because I really enjoyed the Mindy Project.
Yep.
Then I rewatched it with Michelle. Like we watched it and then rewatched it, and I was like, because the character assassination of Danny Castellano, I really don't like that.
Oh no, me neither.
It's tough.
Me neither. Then it hurt me when he was on the show less and less.
And then the Southern guy, who I like I thought he's a good actor.
Yeah, but he's not Danny.
It's not even that he's not Danny. It's like they also fucked him too.
Yeah,
and of course his sister. She's funny, her stand-up's funny, but it's I get it, it's not for everyone. But by the time I get to the last season, I'm just and they bring back Danny, and all of a sudden Danny is cool again.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You could have written him out way better than that. You didn't have to do this.
It's so fucking weird. They hook up, they have a baby, and then he's just.
Then he's this controlling, stereotypical Italian dude, and you're well. Okay, he always was, but they dial it up so much that you're are you fucking kidding?
It's rough.
Are you kidding? And stuff with his dad, I feel for him, you know what I mean? But fuck, they didn't have to do him like that.
It was upsetting.
So my concern is if I rewatch The New Girl, I might be in that situation. I'll be oh yeah, no, it's not as good.
Nah, I don't think you will be.
I don't think I will be either because fuck everyone in that show.
That's such a good
funny.
show.
Winston is fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Right? We got that crossover episode between the two shows.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is actually still consistently one of the funniest fucking shows out there. I really Good Place is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel good.
It does.
As a person. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it just makes me feel makes me laugh.
Oh man, it's so funny. That's so funny.
But I knew it. I knew I was gonna like it. I was Andy Samberg as a cop.
Yeah.
Sign me up. Terry Crews, he's in it too. Are you kidding me? I'm in. I'm in. And then you find out later, he literally did grow up with Chelsea Peretti. They were friends. Oh shit.
That's a little bummer that she left the show. But
yeah, it definitely shifted.
It did.
It did shift, but still really good. But they really they fuck her character when she comes back though.
Oh yeah.
I was just oh
yeah.
Oh not cool. Still funny though.
Still funny. No, it's a great
funny.
show. I love that show so much. Well, that was a super Camcast.
Geek Pantsers. No, that was swell.
It's a swell.
It's a swell Camcast.
Statistically.
Statistically speaking, this is probably one of our shorter runs. Nope, it's a long one. It's
a long one. It's long.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this swell and super Camcast.
Indeed.
We always love it when you guys hang out with us. We also love it when you guys send us comments, send us likes, share whatever the things we have to say for the algorithm.
All that stuff.
All the social stuff that we're on. We're on everything except for X. Just kidding, it's Twitter. And
Twix.
That's pretty funny.
That's what I call it.
That's funny. I still like calling it Twitter because I know it bugs them. So fuck them. And
silly Elon.
Actually, you know what? This is the perfect time for you guys to send us your favorite childhood movies that may or may not have stood the test of time. Because I would love to hear it. I'd also like to watch them if I haven't already seen them. And without further ado, on behalf of Kenneth, I'm Chris. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Have a wonderful evening.
These pancakes are delicious.